Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today you are getting an entire chilled playthrough, long play of Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 1, Spyro Original, the original flavor. And yeah, I haven't really done long plays for you all, so I'm pretty happy to be here doing this together. So let's charge on in, shall we? We are starting a new game. So Spyro is here in the world of dragons to greet us, and I'm sure most of you have seen this before.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or
It's been peaceful
for a dragon's age.
in however many worlds we
now
have.
12,000 treasure, or is it 4?
We don't know how much money we have, but that's okay because we're
what
happy.
About this Ganasty Gnort character? Now I understand
Very
he found a
Ganasty.
magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
This guy doesn't know what's going on. And this guy has a big mouth.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the dragon.
That was a mistake.
No threat.
A big one.
Besides, he is ugly. That does it.
You should know not to insult your enemies.
Looks like I've got some things to do.
But alas, it happened this way, and now it's our problem to fix it. So the adventure begins. And the adventure begins in the Artisans world, where we will free Nestor, who does not allow you to bypass his dialogue.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
I never
What about
realized
that Gnorc? I'm going after him.
that the whites of his
Find
eyes are green.
dragons First. That's all I can tell you.
Very interesting choice, but not my business. So anyway, you've done this with me in the Spyro 1 prototype, where we played through Chilled, and I started that a long time ago. A long time ago. So the quality was like not great all the way through, but we've made upgrades and we're here playing the original game all the way through, which really, it's daunting, but it's not as daunting as I thought it would be. I do feel like I'm going to get sore, but that's just because I've been sitting at my computer all day anyway, working my desk job. So maybe it wouldn't be that bad if I had chosen to do this a different day, but alas, time is of the essence, and I don't have a lot of it. So, let's free Thomas without an H. Thomas, if you will.
Hey, Spyro! Press the jump button twice to glide, and don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
I would never be afraid
Falling
of
from
anything.
high mountain peaks, plummeting into prehistoric glaciers.
I'm afraid all the time.
That.
And that could be why you're here, because you also have anxiety, so you need someone relaxing to listen to while they play your favorite game. And I understand that, because sometimes, sometimes you're just tired of hearing people scream and yell while they play video games. Sometimes you just need some chill vibes, and that's okay. I mean, I don't do Crash Bandicoot Chilled for a reason, because that game, love it, but it makes me angry. Now, it always seemed growing up, and just to give you a heads up, this is going to be a playthrough full of random commentary. Whatever comes to mind is what's going to be said, as long as it's not incredibly controversial, I suppose. But Crash Bandicoot, when I was a kid, always seemed like it was more popular. Even as an adult, I can ask almost anyone who has even been around video games, maybe not even people who consider themselves gamers, but I can ask almost anyone in my age group about Crash Bandicoot, and they know what Crash Bandicoot is. Spyro, different story. Usually they have no idea, and if they do, or if they think that they do, they want to talk about Skylanders, and personally, I was not a big fan of Skylanders. And by not a big fan, I mean I hated it. Now, if you're a Skylanders fan and you're just now getting here and you're unsubscribing to me, just wait a moment.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro! You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing?
Eating my
His name
butterflies.
is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I
and
mean.
buzzing. That's what he's doing. Anyway, I tried to keep it peaceful here, and I won't hardcore hate on your little action figure game. However, it's not my vibe. Makes me sad. I think they just used Spyro's name and ruined it and drug it through the mud. But again, let's be positive and move on. So, fun fact that I didn't know until I was reading the official Prima, however you want to say it, strategy guide for Spyro that I purchased on eBay. Did not realize that Sparks's gem picking up capabilities changed depending on his health. So he will not go as far as he does when he's golden yellow if he's blue or green, which I never knew that, never put that together.
Cool Flash, do that again.
The Artisans boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First you must complete one of the other Artisan lands.
You know, one thing I haven't done, I may have done it but just not paid attention to it. I haven't waited to free him. Like I haven't waited until I got what I need to get Toasty to free him to see if his dialogue changes. Does it? Let me know in the comments because I don't remember. Now that is something that you'd think I would have remembered. Now, although this is a long play, I've already decided because I heard the sound of my AirPods dying, didn't think this through, that this will have a pause and maybe a snack break or something of that nature at some point before we finish. But we're going to finish it. We're going to do the whole shebang, my friends. This room is very beautiful. And yeah, we're not going to rush through, although I am pretty quick. I'm pretty good at Spyro. I'm not confident in a lot, but that's one thing I'm confident at. Unless I'm hanging out with a speedrunner, in which case I would never brag on myself, because they would roast
When
me.
you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you
Love
run
his
into
color.
trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
Spyro has never ran into trouble. I don't know what you're insinuating, Lindar. I think that was your name. If it wasn't, whoops. I love doing this. This is just fun. But yeah, we're just chilling, taking our time. Spyro, if you're new here, you may not know this, but if you're not new here, you absolutely hear me talk about it all the fracking time. Spyro is my comfort game. Spyro is the thing that puts my anxiety and my consistent 24/7 existential crisis mode at ease, or at least as much at ease as it can be. And we're going to free that dragon when we go back up, because I'm still talking. So that's kind of chilled came from a funny silliness. The chilled series content that I do with Spyro, it came from a funny silly, because I wore sunglasses during a recording, and I was like, oh, I should just be relaxed and chilled because I'm wearing sunglasses. And then it kind of turned into, maybe this is an anti-anxiety thing, and then sometimes it's a humor thing.
After you freed all the dragons,
Lord have
pass
mercy.
through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home.
This guy sounds
But
like
first,
somebody's
let me tell
papaw.
you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
And papaws are specific to the Appalachian region. They are an upgraded, exhilarated, intensely awesomer version of a grandfather. If you have a papaw, then you are superior. And I just want you to know that. So if you have a papaw, let me know in the comments. Anyway, I didn't mean to go up the whirlwind, but I did, accidentally. Free this dragon, there's a lot of dudes hanging out here who shouldn't be.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. when he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
This guy is very proud of his testosterone levels. Alright. Really glad that whirlwind's there. I mean, when Spyro initially jumped down that, he didn't necessarily know. I mean, if you think about it, he did not know that he was going to have a way back up. Because his wings are underdeveloped because he is a baby. So we're grateful for the whirlwind and all of its powers. Okay. And really, this game is quite short. I don't think of it that way, like in a way, but when you actually sit down and play it, especially compared to the other games, because it is so much more straightforward, it is a pretty quick game, so it's not going to take us that long to get through it. Even taking our time, it's not going to be the craziest thing to get through. Gildos.
Spyro, my
However you
friend,
wanna
how
say
about a hint on gliding?
Sure.
You bet.
For the longest glide,
I like
press
this
the
guy's
X
energy.
button at the top of a jump, and try pressing the triangle button to drop down in mid-flight.
See, his eyes also, the whites of his eyes kind of match his skin color. It's very cute. Just a lighter version. Now, of course, one of the best things that I think a lot of us experienced as kids, and apologies if I do the whistle mouth thing, it's easy to do when you're trying to be chill, is not the na-na-na-na-na, although I do love a good egg thief. I'm actually a big fan. Some people hate them. I think that their design is really cute and that their na-na-na-na-na is really funny. But one of the things that was really cool as a kid, to me, was this. Just the force field. And like the fact that you can look beyond that and you just really want to go there, and you can. Good news is you can. If, and I'm sure there's a speedrunner exploit for it. That's not it. I just thought I would test it. Yeah, we'll let that go. We'll let that go. But anyway, you can explore it if you want to using mods by Jorn. I think I finally pronounced that correctly due to some comments and just re-researching based on previous conversations with him. Mods by Jorn will allow you to do that. For example, reverse mod and also the speed mod. Well, no, the speed mod does not. I'm just kidding. I lied to you. And I didn't realize he came back. Does everybody come back? No. Huh. Oh, it's because it was from the last save. Alright. Anyway. The reverse mod, excuse me. I was incorrect. The reverse mod by Jorn will allow you to use free flight anywhere. And you can explore beyond the hills. Now, I have to remember what I'm getting. Did I miss? I probably missed the ones in the trees. I'm notorious for this. And it does not matter how long I play, how many times I play, which is a lot, by the way, just for the record. I play a lot of Spyro 1. I always miss those at some point. And I'm betting that's what I did here. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I got them. It's usually these right here. I don't know if there are... Oh, this one. But I still need 3 more. Oh, it is the other trees. The other trees. The ones that wrap back around this way. And then we're done with Stone Hill already. And I did that very slowly. So again, like I said, this game can be completed very quickly. Speedrunners would absolutely probably already be in Beast Makers right now. Wouldn't surprise me at this point. Or beyond, who knows. I actually don't know what the record is for speedrunning Spyro 1 right now, at least in any percent. 100% I suppose would be a different story. But so we're entering Dark Hollow. And you can of course do these levels in any order with the exception of Toasty. Sometimes I start with Dark Hollow, sometimes I start with Stone Hill. If you're doing like a basic left to right, of course, you know, a lot of people do that and do start with Dark Hollow. like I said, I kind of am hit and miss with which one of those I do first, but I very rarely, if ever, complete Town Square first. Albin
it's you.
in Appalachian.
I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures.
See, he looks purple.
Of course, they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
So do you think that Spyro would look like that if he was an adult, or would he look different? I've seen different fans do like interpretations of what they think he would look like. Artists, if you will, which is cool. But, yeah. So for this playthrough, we are sticking with original game music, but if you like this content, and this commentary style, if it's your thing, it is what a lot of you were here for, surprisingly. A lot of people consider this ASMR, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be part of that niche. I never thought that I would be. And it was an accident, so hey, even better. But if you like this, I would actually be down for doing these later on with ambient tracks that are made by Spyro Dragon 16, an amazing music creator and fan. Or anyone else who makes Spyro ambient tracks. So when I say ambience, I'm talking about music styled very similarly to Spyro 2 homeworld music. So you know, summer forest, autumn plains, winter tundra. I would be very interested in turning the music off and doing one with those tracks in the background in the edit.
Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the triangle button when you want to zoom in and look around. Oh, your secret's safe with me.
So yeah, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, but for now we're just doing a playthrough of Classic because I want people to have the option with the nostalgic music that they enjoy, but I do think it could be a relaxing option for people. And there is a big niche here of Spyro fans who play it for the same reasons I do. Anxiety relief, comfort, nostalgia. It is just such a calming game that, I mean, these aesthetics, you know, rarely you'll get people that are like, oh, the graphics were so bad. I actually saw someone on Facebook say that they, and no judgment by the way, because to each their own, but they hated the graphics of the original. They are not like a new gen person user by my understanding at least, because they talked about, you know, Spyro being a thing they've known about for a while, but they think the old graphics are terrible and were excited about Reignited because they actually like the graphics, which is an unpopular opinion in the Spyro fan base. A lot of times it's the opposite. A lot of people don't like the graphics in Reignited, or they do, but, and this is the category I fall into, they do, but they just don't evoke the same nostalgia, so they still prefer the original games, and that's the category I land in. I'm grateful for Reignited, I'm thankful for it, it's very convenient, but aesthetically, I like the old PS1 textures. I think that they're just very comforting and calming and simple, and I like that. I don't need things to be hyper-realistic to find them visually pleasing, personally. But again, that's nostalgia that's at play there a
Big
lot.
enemies like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged.
Cannot.
But a quick flame, that should defeat them.
That should do the trick. That should do the trick, you're right, thank you. I had no idea. But you know what, at one point in my life I really did have no idea. There was one point in my life where I didn't know that, because I hadn't played this 473,000 times. So hey, there's that. Now, I don't know why I experienced this, and I basically it's like skybox breaking. I don't know if it's a setting on my emulation station, if you will, we'll call it that, or if that's something people experience in the PlayStation 1 version. So if you do see that, I apologize. I have worked to try to fix it, but sometimes you'll see it when you're leaving levels, and sometimes you'll actually see it in the level. Sorry, I heard a noise that I didn't register as human. And I don't know if it was through my computer or in my external surroundings, but that did happen. That happened. Nils?
Welcome to Town
I mean, I would think
Square,
Niles.
Spyro. Begin
But where's the E?
exploring by gliding to that area with the bull.
This could have
Use
been
the
Pete.
L2 and R2 buttons to get a good look.
All the green dragons could have been Pete. If you don't know about Pete, Pete is what they originally were going to name Spyro. This is a very common lore fact. I'm not telling you anything majorly new. It's common info in the Spyro community, but originally Spyro was going to be green and his name was going to be Pete. And the reason that this didn't happen is because of copyright issues, because of some kind of, I believe, Disney cartoon. I didn't watch it personally that I remember, called Pete the Dragon, and then also because he would have blended in with the grass in levels like the Artisan world. So anyway, I don't think it was expecting me to release it from that end, that side.
Thanks, Spyro. I had the worst itch on the tip of my wing.
That's the worst.
Did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing X at the very top of your jump?
Very good tip there. That's an actual really good one that, like, I mean, I even forget that sometimes. I even forget that. So anyway, get the longest glides by pressing X at the top of the jump versus trying to do it quickly. It is interesting information. It is. But anyway, I personally, every time I see that dragon that we just freed, I think about cake, and it makes me want something sweet, thanks to Reignited. Because Reignited designed him with a happy birthday Spyro cake, I believe. So there's that. Now, while we chase this egg thief, I'm going to get into some hot topics. I'm going to get into some controversial Spyro opinions, okay? Because if you've made it this long, well, you're here, you're locked in, and you can agree with me or not. But when it comes to this Spyro 4 business, now when I first started YouTube and was really bad at it, and I've made a lot of videos private, so don't go trying to search for them because you probably won't find them. You might find a few. I did make a video on what I wanted to see in Spyro 4. Do you know how long ago that was? That was like 8 years ago. Maybe 7. Maybe. But more like 8. And we're still having to talk about Spyro 4. And after we free this dragon, I'm going to get into some controversial Spyro 4 opinions.
Thank you for releasing me.
He had so much to say, but unfortunately we have another one down below that we need to knock out before I continue my conversation. So let's do that. One of my favorites, the winded dragon, Alvar.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg. You've got to track him down and get that egg. Run! Run! I'm getting a little winded.
Yeah. Big mood, buddy. I always wondered if Alvar, if that's what inspired Avalar when they were doing Spyro 2, but anyway, maybe not. Now I am missing some gems. No, I'm not. Oh, I have everything. I can go to the exit portal. I'm a silly Willy. Anyway, my controversial, I say that lightly, Spyro 4 opinion is that, like, it doesn't matter because of all the things that the fans are doing. And every now and then you'll get a bit of a hateful comment, judgmental comment, or even just an opinionated but respectfully worded comment that people don't love what some of the fan content is doing, but I think it is amazing. And the thing is that anybody can get their hands on it and design some pretty cool flippin' stuff. It is opening up so many possibilities for traditional PS1 Spyro. Now, if Spyro 4 happens, I will very likely be very excited, hesitantly, but very excited, thrilled even, as long as it stays in the traditional platforming style. I'm not even uber opposed to somewhat of an open world, because we know that's where gaming is going at this point, as long as it's not like a tacky open world attempt. So, you know, whatever. But as long as like the characters, the story, the general direction of design and like layout, you know, of Spyro, and the gems and, you know, whatever, the combat style stays the same and they don't try to introduce some kind of nonsensical RPG BS, I am down for Spyro 4. But am I going to, how should we say it, be reading between the lines and hoping for things when the evidence is slim? No. And I know that that's popular right now in the community. I see it on Reddit, I see it on YouTube, and I just want to say, you're not going to find that here. You're not going to find me digging in the trenches to try to find evidence for Spyro 4. If and when it happens, I will be here. I will be covering it. You will get my opinions, for sure. But I want y'all to also just be very aware of the fact that we're getting Spyro back either way. Whether Spyro 4 happens or not, we are getting him back thanks to fans. So that's my opinion. Those are my thoughts on Spyro 4. Let me know yours in the comments. I'm curious.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. This boss has many tricks up his sleeve.
Ooh, very many tricks. Now, this boss is important because this boss was actually the subject of my first commissioned t-shirt for my store. Joseph WB on Ko-Fi, a friend and fellow Spyro community member, brought a concept to life for me where I thought it would be really funny to do a Toasty shirt that says "Get Toasted," and, you know, shows Toasty getting toasted. And he really brought that to life by including a sheep dressed up as Spyro, toasting and exposing his fellow sheep. And it's really funny. But anyway, it is available on my Fourth Wall store. You'll see the link here, and you can go easily grab it yourself if you're interested. There's a few different variations and versions of it, but yeah. So now every time I play Toasty, I think about that shirt, and I think that's just nice and shows the importance and the power of art and fans and community. So again, fans are doing amazing things, and I'm grateful to be part of that. So we could do Sunny Flight. I suppose we should before we leave. Now, if you do it the correct way, and I've never done this in my entire life, you technically should wait until you get to Wizard Peak, and then the dragon tells you, if you step on the stones in order, it will reveal a secret, which is Sunny Flight. However, I actually figured this out on my own before I got to Wizard Peak. So I never did it the backtracking way, and it is, I believe, the only backtracking thing you are required to do in Spyro 1. And I don't even count it as backtracking, considering the fact that it's a secret. It's not something that you know about, or you're supposed to know about, at least. And I think that makes it very lovely and fun. And one of Spyro's best traits as a franchise to me is its little secret areas. Now, I don't know how these guys ended up all together, but it's probably not good for me that they did, because it definitely messed things up a little bit, and you can feel a drop in speed quality when you get around a group of the flying Norks like that, which is kind of funny. It's just that that whatever, trying to keep up with the whatever. I'm not going to pretend I know the tech terms for it, but I do know that it's definitely just part of the vibe now. I didn't do very well on this. I've definitely done better on Sunny Flight. I think we can still pull it off. I think we'll still survive. But it's not my best run, and that's okay, because that happens sometimes. Things be doing and things be don'ting. sometimes, and that's just how it rolls. But we can go out here to the left and pick our archers back up, and we'll be okay. And thankfully we don't have to deal with what I like to call magnetic water, which is a feature that Reignited includes, probably unintentionally, but if you get a little too close to the water in Reignited, it can kind of suck you down, pull you down, whereas that is not a concern in the original. So with that, we have completed Artisans, and I think this is an important time to mention the fact that I did name one of my 6 cats after the Artisans world. His name is Artisan, and I love him. He's a beautiful gray cat, a great boy, the best boy. So we will now move on to Peacekeepers, where I will take my first intermission that you won't even know about because I will pause the recording. So Marco says, "Wow, I see you have been busy rescuing dragons, Spyro. You may travel to the Peacekeepers world if you like." And I would like to go there now. Peacekeepers is not my favorite homeworld. My 2 least favorite homeworlds in Spyro 1 are Peacekeepers and Peacemakers. Known as the more dreary color palettes. But I will say, as an adult, I am starting to appreciate them more. I think that was more of a childhood opinion. Wow, that just feels really... Look at that there, how choppy that feels. Not sure what that's about, but now it's time to take an intermission, charge my AirPods, maybe get a snicky snack, and I will be back. Alright, we are back. And we have had a little snack. So everything is good. AirPods a little charged.
Welcome to Peacekeepers,
Titan
Spyro.
is here.
Look how our treasure has been turned against us. And stolen. Recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
It's been turned against us, and this is where we get a little bit more of the lore about how Nasty Nork turned gems into warriors for his cause. So there's that. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to just talk about whatever comes to mind. One of those things being these cannons. Now, if you think that Spyro wasn't a good game for its time, think a freaking again. Watch this. I mean, not only did it knock out all those Norks, but the other Nork that it did not reach freaked out and acknowledged that I had destroyed them. Now, we do have some butt. And if you know me, you know this is one of the funniest things in the entire series to me. But I always think it's funny because every time I see them, I think about the fact that when I was a kid, when my parents had first got this game for me, my mom was like, "Oh no, should we not have gotten this for her?" Because I was like 5. But, you know, I think that the soft reminder to my mom that these are not human butts. If anything, they look a bit like frogs in the PS1 version, to be honest with you. So, a frog butt is a common occurrence that you see. I mean, frogs don't wear clothes most of the time. I mean, the one in the Frog and Toad series does. But that's different. Because frogs also don't talk. They ribbit. But Frog and Frog of Toad talk. Frog of Toad. In Frog and Toad talks. So anyway, enough of that. We don't need to be philosophical about frogs and their clothing today. But Peacekeepers, like I said earlier, it's not my favorite homeworld. It's not my least favorite. I don't hate it at all, but I do have favorite levels. Why do I feel like I already rescued him? I didn't, though. I know I didn't. I have favorite levels here, and I think my favorites are Ice Cavern and Cliff Town. dry canyon is cool, but as a kid it was a little more
Hi,
frustrating.
Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you.
He sure has.
Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterflies.
So many. So many butterflies. My goodness. What a sound. The six cats that I own have been sleeping all day. And, well, I'll just say that they have decided suddenly to wait until I do this chill playthrough to start moving again, to start cleaning themselves, to start hollering, to start zooming. We got him really quick. And I'm offended, but this is typical cat behavior. It is still better, I'm sorry to anyone who has indoor dogs, it is still better than having an indoor dog when you're a content creator, because that's kind of hell. Gunner.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some...
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
What do you think he was going to say? I think if he was going to say but, then they wouldn't have had the Elder Dragon interject. So I think he was going to say another word, and I'll let you fill in the blank as to what you think that word is. That was a mess. That was embarrassing. You can actually get multiple jump chests at once if you so choose. Now, I like to, when I do a full playthrough like this, I like to get everything in the homeworld first, when possible. That's not always possible in other Spyro games, but in this one it is, so that's what we're going to do. You could also just wait to get stuff like this, like right before you go into the portal, but I'm going for all of it right now. And the next place we need to go is actually up here to the right, where the Flying World Portal lies. Night Flight. One of the most beautiful skyboxes. I actually put the skybox into Magic Crafters and made Magic Crafters at night, and it has gone over quite swimmingly, both on Facebook as a desktop background option, and on the visualizer I did with Spyro Dragon 16. So let's go to Dry Canyon. And speaking of dry canyons, I'm going to need a drink because doing this calm voice, it's not ridiculously far off from my regular voice, but I am putting, you know, like how when you whisper, it puts actually strains your voice more than if you talk normally because you're using muscles that kind of hold you back a little. That's kind of what this voice does, because it's not a full-on whisper, but it's in that realm. And anyway, I need to clear my throat, so let's get that taken care of real quick, shall we? I will not be leaving in the clearing of the throat or the sound of the drink taking because, let's just be honest, it was not very sound aesthetically pleasing in the slightest. But anyway, something funny that happens here sometimes when I play Pete's Gauntlet is in Pete's Gauntlet, it's another amazing Spyro 1 mod by Hajorn. Sometimes the levels are randomized to have Spyro at different speeds. If you get Spyro at a slower speed, you will never be able to catch the Egg Thief. And it's quite intense. It has happened to me before, and it's rough. So Pete's Gauntlet in the cards if you want to see any of that.
Thank you for releasing me.
And when I upload mods, fan levels, whatever, I always include a link to download them in the description. So if you want to do this stuff yourself, you have the opportunity to do so, and I try to make it as easy as possible. Now, I can't tell you where to get certain things, but I do my best to help people when they need it with installing some of this stuff, just because I am not tech savvy, and I have had to have help to learn how to do this stuff. So if you ever have questions, need additional, suggestions, or guidance, feel free to add me on Discord and I will do my best to help you out. Because at the end of the day, you know, I think it's important that community and communities like this are kind to each other and help each other out when possible. Now, of course, in some situations, people may take too much, more than they should even. And that's frustrating when that happens, and you have to, of course, have boundaries. But overall, I think with strong, hardy boundaries, the best thing you can do is try to help people when you can. And also be aware when they're taking advantage. So anyway, Boris is
Dry
here.
Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
I like that color of yellow that he is there. It's very nice. But yeah, I do like to try to help people, but one of the hardest things I have noticed, and I'm not meaning to get into any Toasty Norks talking mental health territory, although I do enjoy doing that series. It's basically a series where I talk about mental health both on my own and with other people. Just kind of like getting, you know, experiences out there.
Incredible glide, Spyro. I thought I'd be stuck
This
here
one's
forever
important.
with those ugly vultures standing on my head. Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled, with a pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt. He doesn't hold back. He's not shy about it. But hey, it's his business. Anyway, Toasty Norks Talking Mental Health is a series I do. I interview people. I also talk myself, and it's not a professional thing. It is just an experience-based thing where people in the Spyro community talk about experiences they've had in mental health and just kind of just chit-chat about it. You're not really looking for solutions or cures or even recommendations, although, you know, sometimes we might express things that have helped us individually. But anyway, not meaning to turn this into that. However, since we're on the topic, being online is really difficult when you are an empathetic or quote-unquote kind person, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm not one to call myself, you know, ridiculously positive things, but I do feel like overall I have an empathetic heart, and often, you know, have to be very careful about what kind of energy I absorb, because I'm kind of, you know, naturally open to that sort of thing. So anyway, when you're online, it's actually quite difficult to deal with, you know, the empathy side of things, because sometimes if you give people an inch, they'll take a mile. They'll take that country mile, as one of my friends says. You know who you are if you're watching. And I guess I'm just, you know, when I mentioned helping people, I want to do that. And like I said, as long as you are respectable, I will do everything I can to help. But that said, I am an adult with a full-time job and a family and lots of animals to take care of. So if I do help, you know, just please be understanding of my time and when I'm able to step in. And so many people have been so kind. I really can't complain. But you do have to watch with the internet because, like I said, sometimes I don't realize, and this is not an insult to anyone who may be watching this, because I don't think it's true for a lot of us, but at the same time, there's a temptation for people to just be chronically online, and I am a little bit more prone to that during winter because I don't do much during winter. I don't like to go out when it's cold or when a bunch of sicknesses are going around because I'm a bit of a hypochondriac and I have OCD that I battle. But, you know, when it's warm outside, I want to be outside, bro. I want to be hiking, riding my four-wheeler.
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you're a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
Now that's a peepaw. It's different than a papaw. Peepaws are extra advanced in their age, and they don't hold back. They don't have a filter. So if you've ever met a peepaw, let me know in the comments. But anyway, I don't remember exactly what I was saying. Oh, chronically online. Yeah, that can be like really dangerous, especially when you're a content creator. It can be incredibly easy to fall into that because, like, oh my gosh, I just have so much excitement for Spyro and so many creative ideas, and it takes time to execute those, and it takes a lot of effort. So I do end up on my computer quite a bit, more than I care to admit. Slight little rhyme there. Did you see that? Unintentional. Clifftown now. One of my favorites. But I do think, you know, I do have the mental health series, and since it came up, I do want to point out, like, Spyro is a comfort that is digital. But a lot of why it is, for me, is because it mimics, I mean, this beautiful art style and the nature. Like, you're outside all the time. The time frame that this game occurs in is very, like, outdoor driven. You know, you have little castles and little buildings, yes, but it's certainly not an industrial game. And I think that's why I'm very opposed to sci-fi themes, because sci-fi is so heavily industrial that it's not comforting to me. The last thing I want to do to relax is go out and be in a city, or be in anything that even slightly resembles a city. So anyway, Spyro is comforting for me because it mimics something that brings me joy, which is being outdoors. So I do think it's important and healthy for all of us. I mean, it's different depending on where you live. It may not be as accessible to go outside and be in nature directly. You might live in a city and be surrounded by noises and cars and people and stinky smells. And if that's the case, clearly it is easier said than done to go outside. But I do think it's important for us gamers to do that, though, to if we can, and when we can, to have some fresh air, some breathing room, because I've noticed such a difference since winter has ended here in Kentucky, in my mental health quality, just because I've been able to go on little hikes, been able to take walks, I've been able to go outside, and it has helped me immensely, and it's given me the energy to come back to this and do things like an actual long play, which, as you know, my long form content is almost always live stream related, so it's really fun to record a full playthrough in one setting of Spyro the Dragon. It's amazing. It's very neat. So anyway, Stuart Copeland's bass lines are freaking fire, and I say that as not a bass player. I am a guitar player, and I don't think everyone knows that about me, by the way. So yeah, I play guitar, right? Pretty cool, I think so. I've played since I was 10. I prefer electric guitar, but I do have an acoustic. I have a banjo-guitar, which is a banjo guitar, essentially. And I'm trying to pick music back up a little bit. I want to do some of my own tracks for a Zelda meditation I have planned, and yeah, you know, I know a little bit about fooling around in GarageBand and stuff like that. So yeah, do play music, but I do not play bass. So it's not me from an experience standpoint saying, wow, those bass lines are bad, but I'm trying not to curse in this specific playthrough. But yeah, it's a good bass line. So anyway, let's go free that dragon. I was kind of donking around, and we have the other one too, because I don't like to have them interrupt me mid-sentence, because when that happens, I feel like I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger, and I try to avoid it. And I also might forget what I was saying, which was the more important concern. Enzo.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
What is over there?
Why don't you glide there and find
Now,
out?
is he pink or purple? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, when I ask you these questions, if you don't mind, pretty please, to leave a timestamp so I know what you're referencing. Or at least to tell me in response to what
How's a
question
dragon
you're
supposed
answering.
to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember,
No,
Spyro,
he's...
flame won't harm metal, but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
His face is purple. His details, like his wings, are like an indigo-y, purpley blue. But his body was almost a pinkish purple versus like pure purple. And it's interesting because these dragons kind of match the skybox a little bit, if you think about it. Now, I don't know when I will be having this go up, but I know for a fact because I released a video on the day of recording of Spirit 95's new level, Shady Town. Whoops. I just experienced a beautiful new fan level by Spirit 95 called Shady Town, and it uses Peacekeepers themed assets and textures. And the purple goo was the first thing that made me think of it because it actually had this really cool thing where there was like a purple goo texture outside of a goo pond, I will call it. And the goo texture was not, harmful to Spyro, but it kind of just showed that nice overflow of the little goo area.
You've reached the highest point in Cliff
I like
Town.
Marco.
You can get to almost anywhere from here. If I were you, I'd use that whirlwind there.
He sounds kind of like Meowth from Pokemon. If you know, you know, and if you don't, I'm sorry. So another force-filled example, and I'm really not sure why they decided to put these in certain games, or sorry, certain levels, and others they didn't. I guess they tried to do it where they had like extended ground. But this one's really interesting because there's actually a cactus behind it now. In Reignited, you can actually stand on one of these, because they're bigger, they're made different, and jump up above it and get to the other side. It is a glitch. It is a glitch that's actually fun in Reignited that you can do. Now, something I think is really funny, it's so funny to me to see grown people play Spyro for the first time, because that's just mind-blowing to me that, like, people didn't grow up with this, and I'm sure people will feel the same way with me when I do other platformers I didn't grow up with, like Banjo-Kazooie, or, I don't know, if I end up playing Rayman or other things, that people have been asking me to play, which I will do. I will expand a little bit beyond Spyro, don't you worry, but people will probably feel the same way when they watch me do those things. However, I was watching a content creator that was far, at the time, maybe not so much now, I don't know, but at the time, far more popular, as if that matters, it doesn't, than me. And that person didn't know about that secret area back there that we just glided to. And that was just wild to me, I couldn't believe it. But that's just what's funny about, playing something your whole life. Did we get everything? No, we're missing 4 gems. I thought I already went up here, yeah. I would about guarantee they're in one of these pots. Oh, no, they're not. I always forget about these over here. These right here. See those 2 glistening over there? I always forget about them. Every single time. But what's funny, and the chest too, is that as much as I play Spyro, and as many things as, like, I feel like I know about it, I actually don't, and I always learn new things almost every playthrough. Almost I'll notice a new detail, and I'm like, how? How did I not notice that before? So, good news is, all we have left is Dry Canyon, and then we have Dr. Shimp the boss, and of course Night Flight, which will take all of 30 seconds to beat. So we're doing pretty solid in this long play. I'm having fun. I hope you are too. I'm glad that you're here. Now, I love the way that the color changes as we go down here. It makes it feel colder because it goes from a warm to a cool color, and then we're entering Ice Cavern, which is a cold place. And because we are 100%ing the game, our totals of everything are even, which is nice. Now, there's that little weird skybox thing that happens to me. And you really start to notice this in, like, the Dreamweavers levels, so I'm sorry in advance, because those can get pretty bad. I've seen Lofty Castle be quite rough. Now, usually, and I'm going to do this again, usually I kind of complete this in reverse, and that's probably what I'm going to do this time too. But we're going to go ahead and free this dragon, and then go back. So let's see.
A word of caution, little
Ulrich.
one. Wait until you grow big.
He's like a salmon color.
before charging those large enemies.
So basically, don't charge big things. You have to flame big things, is the hint there. I think I'll complete it up to here and then turn around, which I've never done before. I'm just kind of experimenting as we hang out here together and play through this calmly. But yeah, I think that's a good point right there. And then we'll come back. We'll be done there and can kind of run back to the exit portal. So yeah, this is so much fun actually, because a lot of times I love doing my LP parts, but I don't really get to spend a good amount of time with you all when I do those. And I like to do them because it gives me something to release that's new frequently that works with my schedule. But this long play stuff is pretty neat because we kind of get to have a whole game experience together at once, and that's what my playlists are for too. When I do finish an LP, I do, like to reshare the playlists and remind everybody that you can go watch the whole thing in one setting when it's done, which is cool. It's kind of like binge watching a show that's been on for a while. You've got the people who are watching it every week when it comes out, which is what I feel like a lot of you are already doing. And then I've got people who might find me later who are like, wow, this is complete, and I can watch the whole thing right now. And maybe even people who followed along and are like, well, it's been so long since I saw the first episode, but I want to go back and rewatch the whole playlist now. So I don't know, it's fun. It's different types of content, different audiences, sometimes the same. But I'm excited to be here doing this full playthrough with you. And you know what? Someday I'm going to get really brave, and I'm going to do a 100% long playthrough of Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 as well. And it's going to be a while, mostly because of Spyro 3. I didn't realize, because I skipped them so much, how hard some of the minigames are for me. Like Yeti boxing. Now I did have some people remind me of exploits I've forgotten about to beat that easier. But the minigames in Spyro 3 do not play around, so when I decide to do a long play of one of those, it's going to have to be a day where I have nothing else planned. But Spyro 1, thankfully, allows for a lot of chillness, no pun intended. We have a chill series, a chill level, and a chill topic of conversation. Now let's check out Ragnar.
You've done well, Spyro.
He looks
Some dragons
cold.
thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
Ready for what? You know what, though, Ragnar? I appreciate your energy, and the type of person I am, I need that. I need that belief. Let's go ahead and free you too. Let's just get it over with, Asher.
Thank you for releasing me.
Another peepaw. But this one's cold. This one's very chilly. So, anywho, we love the purple abyss that falls beneath us. Isn't it lovely? It's just lovely. But yeah, I'm enjoying this time with you, even though it's not like a live stream, so you're not actively talking to me, but I hope you feel like you're in the room with me, and we're hanging out. And I'm excited to read your comments, so I hope you leave a lot of them. Alright. Another dragon. This time we have Andor,
Thank you for releasing me.
who's also very cold and doesn't have much to say. Which, to be fair, when I'm cold, I don't have much to say either. But I do wonder, maybe he isn't cold if he's used to this environment. Maybe he's just a snow dragon. Maybe snow dragons exist. Who knows? Who snows? Nobody snows. Sniff you will. This isn't funny anymore, I'm sorry. But sometimes I just have to speak. What hits the brain when it hits the brain? Alright. Boom. And boom. And another dragon must be free. There are a lot of dragons here, and this one's Todor. Very similar to the last name.
Spyro!
Some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor.
Uh-oh.
And in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
Oh, so it's a good thing, he says. Too bad we completed this backwards and have already encountered them. But one thing that is interesting, because see, this is where we were before. See? And we don't have to go back any farther, which is nice. One thing that's interesting is we do have to backtrack a little bit, no matter what, in this level. Because of this. The key. Now, could I have made it from here if I knew some speedrunner exploits? Probably. But I have a lot to learn about Spyro 1 still in that retrospect, so. And for the record, I have no desire to be a proper speedrunner of Spyro, ever. In any situation. Do I like to race it with people for fun? Yes. Do I like to learn some of the exploits for races and just for fun? Yes. But I do not ever plan on being a speedrunner. And surprisingly, that has been very well received by this community, because there's not a lot of love for Spyro outside of speedrunning. There is some, of course, but not a lot. So it's actually nice. Now, this is disappointing because we don't have Sparks Finder in this game and we have one singular gem left, and I'm really not sure where it is. I actually have no idea where this gem is, and these are the kinds of things when you're doing a 100% playthrough that will get you a good one. There it is. Just barely out of the line of sight, and it's something that you would have thought Sparks would have picked up. Sparks did not. But that's okay. Sparks isn't always going to pick up what you put down, and that's alright. Alright. So, we will exit through the exit portal. See, weird glitchy sky stuff. Don't really know what causes it. But alas, it is there. So, we have 31 dragons. We're gonna go into Shemp. And then we will do our flying world, and we will be magic crafters, which is really flipping exciting, because that will put us about halfway through everything, which is cool. So, let's see. Now, my only thing with this is, who knows? I don't know what will happen today, and I don't know if at some point I will get distracted or busy, or something will be needed of me, and I have to pause this for now, even though it will be uploaded as one part. But if you see me in different clothing, just know I intended to be here the whole time. But life does be happening. The song is really loud in here for some reason compared to the others. And I don't know if that's something within the game itself going on or what, but it is much louder. Much, much louder. So, since we're all here for nostalgia purposes, I want you to tell me what your favorite early 2000s childhood drink was. When I say that, I mean like Capri Sun, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid Jammer, a lemon nest tea, that was a good one to me, Hawaiian Punch. There's a lot of options.
This
Chondo.
guy thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I'll tell you one thing. He should watch his back.
Watch his back. Wonder why. Watch his backside, more like it. Dude is caked up and reignited, by the way. Like, they censored so much to try to make it more kid-friendly and more, you know, removing some of the offensive stuff. Yet, they made a caked up Nork. And I'll never understand that. one of the first shorts I made. If you're really feeling like you want to dive into the lore of me coming back to YouTube in 2025, you can go back and find a short that I did where I was playing through Reignited, and I did an edit of an improv song I made called Look at That Butt, and it is of Dr. Shim, so feel free to do a deep dive and find that if you want. I thought about reposting it now that I have more followers, more subscribers. See if I can get more appreciation for it. I should probably post it on my Facebook page because I have so many interactive, awesome people on my Facebook page. Now, I could just exit the level and not be a heathen, but when I do a full Let's Play, I like to exit through the exit portals, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm really excited because Night Flight and then Magic Crafter is my favorite of all the worlds. Now, I do love Dreamweavers too, and it's hard for me to pick between them, and sometimes people make me. They say, well, if you had to pick, which one of the two would you choose? And I think I do end up picking Magic Crafters. I have a lot of nostalgia attached to Magic Crafters. In fact, I remember one of my earliest memories was my mama, who has passed away now, and my papa. They live right near me. This is a phenomenon that happens in Appalachia a lot. It's called a holler. It is basically a place back in the woods, out away from town, that people live in, and they often live, all around their family, whether it's property was handed down or shared or whatever. So anyway, my mom and papa have, they lived beside me, and I got to take my PlayStation down to their house to play and show them, because my mama was such a great grandma. She was the type that just was so interested in whatever the kids were doing these days and really showed, interest in things, even if she didn't understand it or didn't do it herself. And love that about her. So anyway, I remember getting to bring it down there and sitting on their floor with it hooked up to their TV, playing it. And the only thing I remember about that is being in Wizard Peak, which is, of course, a Magic Crafters Spyro level. And the main thing I remember about it is being in one of the little building areas with the snow norks and then trying to use the supercharge. That's the two memories that I have. But I remember being so excited and so happy to be there at my grandparents' house playing Spyro. Thought it was the coolest thing in the world to be able to do that, which is just very precious about kids. Kids are very simple like that, So anyway, I think that's part of why it's my favorite homeworld. So Gosnold says, I can't believe how fast you found so much stolen treasure. Hop aboard for the Magic Crafters world if you are ready. We're gonna go to Magic Crafters. Here we go. Entering Magic Crafters world. The place where magic is crafted. Very clever. I also think that this gave me an interest in hot air balloons, but that's a story for another day. Alright, so let's take off. Let's take off and see what's going on here. This guy, you really gotta work to get him, because if you don't, you don't. And that sounds like a really silly statement, but hear me out. If you get even slightly behind with him, it's over, because it's such a short run. Now that's one of my favorite things to do, for the record. This song is also one of the best songs in the original game. Cosmos.
Welcome to Magic Crafters.
Look at this guy.
I want you to release the dragons, reclaim our treasure, and recover the eggs from those pesky blue thieves.
So, this is an important detail. I didn't realize... Guys, I just realized something. Okay, hear me out. That's embarrassing. for the record, but hear me out. Okay. I didn't realize. Okay, so the first dragon in Artisans tells you to get 10 dragons. Okay. What do you need to get Peacekeepers? 10 dragons. Okay, then the first dragon in Peacekeepers focuses on, please recover our treasure, Spyro. Treasure is what's important to him. All you need to move on to Magic Crafters is, I believe it's 12 or 1500 treasure, I can't remember which. That's treasure. Here, in order to move on to Beastmakers, we need eggs. So he mentioned, please, you know, get the dragons, get the treasure. But at the end, he said, and rescue those eggs from the pesky blue thieves. Now, pesky blue thieves exist in the other levels and homeworlds as well, but nobody mentioned them before. But now we know, in order to get to Beastmakers, that we need to care about the pesky blue thieves, which is really cool. It's really cool. So anyway, I never noticed that. I never even paid attention to the fact that the dialogue kind of tells you what you have to do to move on if you don't 100% everything. Now, I was always a 100%er the first time I played a game, so I wouldn't have noticed these things. I didn't mean to do that. But now I'm just mind blown. It's really cool. These little dudes always got me somehow, and like, here's another example. I just about let them get me again. But anyway. Love this song. Okay. Alright. Got another beautiful flying world. I love the tint of this room, and I do think it's a different color in the
This
prototype.
portal leads to a special
Bulldog.
place where you can learn to fly. I remember when I was a young dragon, earning my wings.
Learn to fly. Got it.
Learn to fly, got it. Now there, what's really cool about that is that's the first time you find out the point of the flying worlds. It's teaching Spyro how to fly, which is really cute. Xantor.
When you see arrows like these, you can charge along with them to begin a supercharge.
Supercharge? Excellent.
Go ahead, try it.
Alright. Not yet. We must go around the corner here and open the treasure chest. Boom. Alright. Get the life. Now we are still missing 6 gems. Goodness knows where I left those. I bet they're over here with this guy. Did I get him yet? No, of course I didn't. I never do. And then we have everything, and we can go to Alpine Ridge next. So let's go. Let's do it. Alpine Ridge. Looky there. Now that's a beautiful skybox. And I noticed that in Spyro 2, they have very similar skyboxes to this one in the speedways with different colors. So Ocean Speedway has one, and Metro Speedway has one of my favorite skyboxes that I really want to get my hands on in the World Viewer tool by Climbing Company. I think it exists in there. I just need to really take some time to go through it because nothing's labeled in that. So I've been having to go through and manually label the skybox names myself. But I would love to put the Metro Speedway skybox on some levels for wallpapers and World Viewer videos because, man, it's like, it's got the beautiful sun rays and everything coming down. Specifically, if I can find it here, I'm not talking about these, I'm talking about the other ones we kind of saw when we came into the level. But it's got those coming down, but it's a dark, dark purple sky, and it's really neat. It looks like a rainy evening.
Spyro, you're
It's
not
cool.
afraid of those big, noisy, gigantic, awful beasts, are you?
Of course not.
I didn't think so.
I'm not, but it sounds like you are. Now, these dudes always reminded me of the show Who Remembers Maggie and the Ferocious Beast? That's what they remind me of, is Beast. It's been a long time since I've seen that, so don't ask me any questions about it. But I always like notice that little platform and just want it to like, I don't know, do something while I'm standing on it. Anyway, this becomes chaotic right here. Very chaotic. My goodness. But one of the funniest things really is the green druid. The green druid as a species is just plump goofy. Look at this loser. Terrified of me. Won't even engage in combat. Passive. They are passive enemies. Alright. So this gets really tricky and reignited because this door loves to glitch on people in reignited, and no, not just if you're using mods, so don't start that with me. Don't start that with me. It likes to glitch shut and then you can't get through it. Which is less than ideal. Now, one of those gems, did it stay up there? No, it didn't. One of those blue gems acted like it fell, but I think it gave it to me. It's technically supposed to. Oh my goodness, that was the silliest thing I have done in this entire playthrough. I can't believe it. That was just so silly. That was 100% my fault. And I kind of knew it before I did it, I'm not gonna lie. Now here's the thing, when I'm doing these, I really want a snack. Like I really want some ice cream or something, but I don't want to eat on camera and make all the noises in the mic. But I don't want to pause either, so Eldred.
Oh, thank you for releasing me.
You're welcome. That's it. Now, I like Alpine Ridge a lot, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is High Caves in Magic Crafters, although I'm really starting to feel more of an attachment to Lizard Peak than I ever did before. So, that's a thing that's becoming a thing. And it could be because of that story I told you earlier about playing it at my mom and papa's house, I don't know. But I would love to hear your memories with Spyro. I've heard some beautiful ones. I actually have a lot of people I want to reply to that I saw send me comments, you know, over my my work break I had recently. And I've seen some very emotional comments about Spyro, both positive and negative, but how at the end of the day it's a solace for people. And it's just, it's really wild. It's really wild. It makes me emotional about how, you know, when people made this game, they were just trying to make a game, you know? And it's amazing what that can mean to so many people. And just the depth that it can take on. And if you haven't seen the Spyro Realms news briefing, I do encourage you to do that. We'll get that dragon last, by the way, since we have to come back up here. But I encourage you to do so if you're interested in Spyro lore, but my point with it was going to be like, it's kind of like fan fiction, right? And then it just makes me think about how so many people want to expand upon the lore that we were left with from this original trilogy especially, but particularly from the first 5 games and even the Game Boy games. Like, we need more. We need more of the lore. And it's emotional to see everybody come together and help create that. I think it's beautiful. Kelvin, let's see what Kelvin says.
Remember that these blue
Beautiful color.
thieves haven't stolen eggs only in the Magic Crafter world. Don't worry, I'll take care of them.
So there's another callback that I've never paid attention to. That dragon told us, hey, don't forget that these egg thieves aren't just here, even though we just like kind of introduced the topic of them to you. That way you make sure you go back and get more, which is, it's really well thought out. And well thought out for kids' brains too, even though I never registered any of this as a kid. Now this is what I was talking about in Metro Speedway. It's this little light that shines down, this little ray here. there is a beautiful skybox in that level that's like even darker than that section that shows all of that, which is really cool. Alright. 1 gem again. Curious about that. Curious if I left it. Oh, I did leave it right here. Okay. It was just part of the egg thief path. Now we can go get that final dragon and use the exit portal and move on. So, let's see. Here we go. The music stopped for quite a while. Listen to that. Now it's coming back. Xander.
Great work, Spyro. If you keep this up, you'll learn all the tricks of the magic crafter world.
If you notice with the dragon names, there are a lot of ors, ers, and rs. Like a lot. But not everyone, because of course we have people like Thomas, for example. But the names do sound quite majestic when you end them with the or, r. But now we get to go to my favorite level, which is High Caves. So I'm very excited about this. Love this level so much. We've got the fairies who pick you up. We've got the giant metalback spiders, which everyone's terrified of. And we've got this whole section with the tornado ladies that are apparently related to Blowhard. So we are in the situation of trying to figure out which way we should go first. I usually go this way because you can go to the right and suffer, but we don't want to do that. And I walked right toward that god dang piece of poop tornado. What the heck? Wart the heckins. Not a fan. Not a fan. But me making up that word made me think of Ekans, the Pokemon. It literally goes, Ekans. Which is kind of funny. Now, I didn't get into Pokemon until I was older. And I'm still not into it to the extent that I understand the cards at all or play it that way. Or to the extent that I even play a lot of the actual RPG-like style games. But I do love the characters a lot. So I'm curious what your favorite Pokemon character is. Mine is Jigglypuff. And that should not be surprising to anyone. Cyrus is here.
Do something about these green druids. They insist on moving everything in sight.
Yeah, Jigglypuff has an excellent song. It's literally Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. And that's just like beautiful. It's beautiful. And it makes everybody go to sleep. And then he gets offended, but honestly, he's just so relaxing. It's a compliment. But the poor little fluff ball fairy like looking thing does not understand. So anyway, love its attitude. It's got a great attitude. Let's see what this dragon has to say. High Caves is not the biggest level in the world. Ooh, I love that color.
Those bugs. When I become big and strong, like you, I'll squash them all.
This is great.
Until then, remember that supercharge makes you invincible.
Until then. So, little Spyro, I understand your struggle. But as an adult, I'm here to remind you that there are other ways to deal with your problems, even though you're small. As a small person, I appreciate this. I appreciate this dragon. So anyhow, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if I can just glide over here. Take this out. This I say about the egg thief. And then collect the gems and let the fairies take me back to the supercharge. Because realistically, there's nothing over here, but I always like to look anyway. Realistically, there's nowhere else for me to go other than down. Now, there might be someone who can pull off, I don't know, some kind of wall glide. Wait a second. I have to stay calm. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I didn't even know it was possible to do it. But I definitely didn't know I could do it. I bypassed the fairies. My fairy fee was waived, and I am shook. Absolutely shook. Now, we will save this dragon for the end, since we are doing the exit portal thing. But wow, I'm really excited that that was caught on camera. Now, thank you, ladies, for being here for me. Now, I actually want to get a closer look at their design. Well, I guess that's one way to do it. They have gray hair, don't they? Because when I was a kid, I think I thought that they were old lady fairies, but now I'm just wondering if it's more of a, like, platinum vibe, and they're just a little, I don't know, punky goth or something? I don't know. I used to think they were old. And that's why their hair was gray. Now, I did know I could go here from here, which I just donked up by falling off the edge like a big dum-dum. But you can get there from there. But we'll use the supercharge route. But I did not know about the other thing, and I'm really proud of myself, to be honest. Now, another thing that a lot of people do here that is very classic, but I'm going to show off all the fun things I know, is getting the egg thief with the metal. Now, I never realized as a kid that the direction you flame the chest is what causes that, because I never could figure out why sometimes these would hit the egg thief and sometimes they wouldn't, but we'll test it out right now. I think I'm facing that way. Yeah, it went the way I was facing, so that's the trick, my friends. So now we have to tackle some metal peck spiders. This is where we get introduced to the Fairy Kiss power-up. So we do take out some of the spiders with supercharge, but others we go up these stairs here, and we will take them out that way. Now it's easier to just go ahead and get those over with the supercharge. Pay attention because around your, now I can't remember if stalactites or stalagmites are the ones that grow from the bottom in caves. I say grow, it's not really how that works, but I think stalactites are the ones that fall from the ceiling and stalagmites are the ones that grow from the ground, or appear to grow from the ground. They don't genuinely. Don't quote me on that, science geeks. Don't quote me there, because I didn't mean it like that. But anyway. And I don't know what the ones are called that are connected both ways. I can't remember. Anyway. Make sure you check around them, because there could be some hidden gems. Speaking of hidden gems, I want to give a shout out to my gems for being awesome. My gems are my YouTube members. I appreciate you all. There are a few different levels of that now. And I appreciate every single one of you. You guys rock. Now, got everything except the last dragon. But I do have 2 yellow tier gem members, and part of being yellow tier includes member shoutouts. So I do want to give a shout out to Jacques B. Daniels and Jack version. I don't know what he's on now.
With jumping and gliding,
Oh my gosh, I love this color.
explore the high caves.
And I absolutely by no means want anybody to feel pressured to up the tier level, because it doesn't come with a lot of benefits, to be honest with you. It's really just a way to support the channel extra if you want, and it was requested, so that's why I did it. But I've had a lot of gym members here for a while that I appreciate so much, so I just want to give a shout out to every single one of you. I do believe my YouTube page displays who's a member and who's not, but I appreciate you all very much for being here with me for so long. Since I got, some of you have been here since I got the membership benefit, which is really awesome. So I appreciate you supporting the channel in that way. It helps motivate me to be able to do more giveaways and more things for the community. So thank you all very much. Moving on, past business. Let's continue here. So this is the level I mentioned earlier with the beautiful memories. I just love doing this. Now, this one gets weird because you do kind of have to do some backtracking. a little bit. Because once you get here, you have to go in reverse and go back and finish it out the other way. So I think on my way back, I'm going to go ahead and take out some of this stuff, right? And I do love these. These are really pretty. And I don't remember if that asset has been used in fan levels yet, but I think I would want to use it if I made one. So funnily enough, and you may have heard it, I have my Mammal's bird clock, which ironically my parents and I got for her for Christmas when I was like 10. And it just so happened it goes off at the hour, which so that's not a coincidence, and that, you know, it always goes off at the same times. But the fact that we ended up in Wizard Peak when that happened made me a little bit emotional, because I had the whole story about my Mammal and how thoughtful and kind she was, and how I got to play this at her and my papa's house. And it was at, you know, it was at Wizard Peak that the memory exists, and then the bird clock went off. My papa gave me her bird clock. He wanted me to have it, which was really nice. It means a lot to me, so yeah. Thought that was pretty cool. Now, as you can see, we've wrapped back around to where we were, and we can continue. And we've got rid of the guy that was up there. That was one of the people that we took care of already. So we don't have to worry about him anymore. Really? Why are you so flighty? Some of those wizards are just so flighty. Let's see what Jarvis has to say.
Welcome to Wizard Peaks. This is my favorite supercharged.
He called it Wizard Peaks.
Use it to bash those wizards.
He called it Wizard Peaks. Plural. I've never heard that. I never even paid attention to that before. Interesting. Alright. So, we do need some sparks fuel. You can get rid of these, and you can technically just supercharge those if you want. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter which one of these paths you take, both will give you the dual supercharged power you need to get across this ravine. And it is best usually to glide unless you get like a really good charge and jump combo. Now another thing that this level reminds me of is Mem and his 20,000 gem level that was so amazing and really well designed, and just enjoyable. And I really had a fantastic time doing it. I believe it's called Bewitched Spires. But anyway, if I proof watch this the way that I should, and I really should, I will include it in the cards, but you can find it on my fan levels playlist. Really cool level. But anyway, he used a lot of those assets up there, like that platform that we were just on. He used that, which was really cool.
Thank you for releasing me.
Hexus. Hexus doesn't have much to say. Alright. So, now we need to go to the other one. I will use the other platform just for funsies. Just because can. And we also simultaneously need to grab that. Perfect. And that one we can hold the charge down for sure the whole time without having to glide. Of course, this one does not have the egg thief, it just has gems. And it's got the fodder that we need, because Sparks is hungry, so that's pretty nifty that we have that opportunity. And boom. We're already almost done with the magical crafters, which is really sad because it's my favorite, but hey, you gotta move on sometime. Now, Beastmakers is where things get, you know, a little bit more intense for people when they play Spyro. It gets a little harder. And of course, to an extent, I guess, every homeworld gets a little bit more difficult, sure. But Beastmakers, of course, has the legendary Treetops level that every casual Spyro player at least, has a rough history with. I always thought that was funny that that guy is bonking the little guy, the little druid. But anyway, this is Lucas. I have a friend named Lucas in the Spyro community.
Listen carefully, Spyro.
And you might remember
There's a
this.
secret area in the artisan home. It is at the waterfall. Try jumping on the stones there.
Artisan home, waterfall. Sounds good.
Sounds excellent, actually. Alright, so we are missing 4 gems, which is less than ideal, folks. It's not ideal. I've got to figure out where they are. Really not sure. I actually have no idea. I think I got everything in here. Just 4 gems. This is the kind of weirdness that happens and you're just like, I don't know. Maybe they're at the beginning. I thought I got the ones that live on the little, what I like to call water platforms. Yeah, I got those. Alright, I guess we're gonna take the long way around and assume that they're somewhere over here. But I don't know for sure. The other options that they could be there, but isn't it nice how this wraps around and how you can see that platform all the way over here? Now the one thing, I did mention this earlier, but the one thing I didn't really factor a lot of space in for is my voice getting tired, and it is getting tired. It's getting tired. But, you know, part of this is me talking the entire time, calmly. It's actually kind of amazing that I'm capable of doing that. I attribute it to the ADHD, for sure. Can't really call it a skill, more so a side effect. Anyway, where did I miss this? Has to be one of the platforms, that's all. Ah, found it. These 2. The whole flippin' time it was those 2. Now, I'm curious if anyone has ever made it all the way up this with Supercharged. That would be wild. It would be a challenge. If you have, leave a timestamp and let me know. Or if you've seen someone do it, I could see a speedrunner probably pulling it off. But now, we will go to Blowhard. So, seeing if the rehydration station, my circle cup, can rehydrate me enough to get through this. So Blowhard is here, and then we will of course have the Flying World. We've done, I feel, quite excellent at this, although my butt is a little sore from sitting here for so long. But that will happen. That one went so high for some reason. Love the song here, and Blowhard, it's one of my favorites. Alright, so we gotta collect these. One of the shortest levels ever, which all of the boss levels are really short. But this level just feels so short. And I do want to point out, if you have not seen the prototype, this level is vastly different, and I do have a playthrough of it. I will try to put it in the cards, but again, it's on my Spyro Prototype Chilled playthrough playlist. This is actually ridiculous how different that it is. It's really cool to see, and I think you would enjoy it if you haven't seen it yet. All the way down to the placement of the dragon statue in this very room is different. Altair.
Thanks for releasing me, Spyro. You have no idea how long I've been trapped.
Now this is a papo, not a people.
And neither do I. Who are you again?
I'm out of here.
It's big papaw energy. Didn't get peepaw vibes. Got papaw vibes. Alright. Here we go. Perfect. Excellent. Alright. So I've made an executive decision that you won't even know the difference. Okay. I've decided I'm gonna do the other half of the game in a separate setting. Because solely because of my voice. If it wasn't for that, I would go ahead and finish it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to remain chill without getting hoarse. So, for my own sake, I'll try to remember to wear the same thing when we start at Beastmakers, but Beastmakers, Dreamweavers, and Nork Nexus will technically be done separately, but I think we have done excellent. So we will do the Flying World, which I believe is... It's funny, I always get them confused. I think... I know Night Flight is the second one. Is Wild Flight here, or is Wild Flight... No, it's Crystal Flight here. Crystal Flight is here, which I always find this really confusing, okay? Hear me out. This is Crystal Flight, but it has a normal skybox. Night Flight has a crystal skybox. Now, yes, there are crystals here. I see that. But, like, the crystal skybox kind of made more sense for this. Maybe I should put it there and see what it looks like. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? I haven't really messed with skybox swaps for Flying Worlds yet, I don't believe. So, love this song. This one's a good one. Now, I did do this massively incorrectly. Just so you know, the best way to do it is to turn around. Well, the best way I found to do it is to turn around and do the airplanes first. But I messed up really bad. Probably so bad that I may not be able to fix it. And you want to be facing them because you get them so much quicker. But there might be a minor miracle here. I might be able to make a comeback. Let's see if I can. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be tight, but I think we can do it. Yep, we did it. Beautiful. But yeah, usually turning around instantly and going toward the airplane Norks is your best bet. We will not be trying again. No, no. No, no, with a capital N. Alright, beautiful. So, let's go to the balloonist. We will actually go ahead and go to Beastmakers, and then I will continue. Let's see what Tuco says. Thank you, Spyro, for recovering so many of our dragon eggs. Hop aboard for the Beastmakers world if you are ready. I am ready. I have recovered everything. Everything in the game. Not a single thing have I omitted. So, amazing. Entering Beastmakers. And as always, we will completely complete the home world, and then we will start at the beginning, which will be Terrace Village. So, let's get started. It may or may not be another day, and my cats may or may not have ripped a hole in my pop filter. But hopefully that does not affect the quality of this recording. So, we are now in the place where beasts are made. Whatever that means, I actually never sat down to think about the title of this homeworld. I just thought it was my least favorite. Now that I'm older, the green and brown hues actually appeal to me quite a bit. But let's rescue this dragon and see what he has to say. Maybe we can piece together what the Beastmakers are.
Nasty Nork is turning our swamp into an electrified junk heap. And it used to be so beautiful.
I'm sure it was.
Spyro has quite a bit of empathy in that moment, but again, we're kind of just hearing about, you know, how beautiful, oh my, oh no, oh my, oh no, that the swamp once was. But what does the swamp do? Also, why didn't that normally ignites all of them? I thought, maybe not. These were always weird to me. I don't know why. They just are. Anyway. I like playing through this with you because it makes me actually use my brain. Cletus, one of my favorites.
Spyro, it's great to see you, but I've got to go. Yes, a lot of people relate to Cletus, especially introverts. Same. You all may not believe this because of how much I speak, but I am an introvert. I do not get energy from talking to people. I get energy from not talking to people so that I can, in fact, talk to people. And yes, I did let that guy rip my butt. However, it's because I was busy talking. I was distracted. We are sparksless at the moment, but that's okay, because we're not going to allow it to take one of our beautiful lives. No siree. We will not. Alright. We will find us a chicken fodder right over here. Just beautiful. Very beautiful. Chicken fodder. Now known as fried chicken. There's Treetops. We just recently experienced that in my mind, because I recently recorded the reverse mod Treetops experience. But, anywho. I always thought these were very interesting. They kind of remind me of the ones in Croc, and like Croc Legend of the Gobbos, if you haven't played it. An adorable, nostalgic game for me, because I grew up with it. However, it is quite frustrating. But there are similar, little things you can jump down in. They have, like, jelly in them. They also have a giant worms. They're goofy looking, so it's not as scary as it sounds, but anyway. Oh my, we didn't mean to destroy double the chicken. I try to only eat enough chicken to survive and not, destroy unnecessary chickens, but that was an accident, so maybe we are forgiven by the great dragon gods. Who are they, by the way? I mean, really, who do the dragons worship? Do they worship anyone? Are they religious in the slightest? I don't know. I think we just need the key chest. Let's find out. And then we will go back to the beginning and start with Terrace Village. Is that everything? I sure hope so. Beautiful. Already Beastmakers is complete, so now we go to Terrace Village, which is certainly one of the first levels that really starts to feel intense. You have a lot of gunmen and electricity. And they'll get you. And I guess it's electric gunmen. These are the electrifying Norks, which makes sense because we've got the Nork DJs that we get introduced to in Beastmakers. Now here's something funny about Spyro 1 that I didn't really think about with the other games, and that is the fact that there are enemies in the homeworlds in Spyro 1, but there are not enemies in the homeworlds of 2 and 3. They kind of went the more, the route of like, the homeworld is where we should be resting, which I agree with. It makes more sense. But I never really thought about it before until, a recent playthrough of Spyro 1, and I was like, oh wait, that's interesting. The rooms here are very nice. These textures are nice. And this is something I'm noticing about the fan games and fan levels that are being made in Spaghetti Spyro. We're starting to see stuff like this.
some nice details on interior rooms. It's very cool. So this level you can complete in different orders. I like to do it the way I did it, where I go around this outer area over here and then go all the way around and come back through the room like we did, and then tackle that first section. That's how I like to do it. Let's see what Claude has to say.
Watch out, Spyro. The Norks in these parts have discovered the power of electricity, and it really stings.
So we've got a lot of electricity themed, enemy stuff going on here in Beastmakers, but as far as the lore of Beastmakers itself, the game so far is not giving us much. Now, there might be theories, there might be extended information from booklets and things like that I'd be interested to look into, dive into, about what Beastmakers is really about. But yeah, we're not getting anything specific other than our swamp was beautiful and now it sucks because technology has infiltrated it. Now maybe that's the theme. Maybe the lesson to be learned here is industrialization can ruin beauty, and it can. I do believe that. Not saying that I'm entirely against cities, obviously, because they, it's just a part of the modern world at this point, but it's something to think about from an environmental perspective. Balance. We need balance, and sometimes we don't have that. Sometimes we go a little too extreme with things and lose balance. See what Cybrin says.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Quite offensive, considering the fact that Cybrin lives here, Spyro, but you're just a baby and you don't quite yet know how to not be rude. We do know that children love to say whatever is on their mind, without hesitation. So I do hate that even if you kill them, their electric lasts, but that is realistic, so I can't complain about it from a logical perspective, but from a I'm frustrated perspective, I absolutely can. So we will go ahead. Let me think about this. We will go ahead and go down here, get this over with. I know it's the end of the level technically, and we could have waited, but I want to go ahead and yeet this guy just a little bit. Give him a little yeet. And then we need to make it, well, let's get this too. Then we will make it back up to the top. And as many of you know, we have some rockets that we need to get. Whoops, I balked a little bit, but we have some rockets. And they open these treasure chests. So yeah, anyway, I don't know why I came all the way back here to show you that when I can just show you from above. But anyway, one thing I have noticed about the Spyro community that has shocked me as I've grown my Facebook page is that there are actually a lot of people who haven't played it since they were a kid versus playing it as an adult, and so finding this content has been like a nostalgic awakening for them. And I'll have people describe to me, oh, do you remember that level with this and that, and it looks like this. They don't even necessarily know the names of the levels because it's just been so long. And I think that's really exciting because for the longest time, I think the Spyro community, I don't know why my power just kind of flashed, the Spyro community I felt like was made up of people who still like obsessively play it, but it's been nice to see that there's more than that. And that we've got people who are like, oh, this unlocked a memory for me, and you know, they're getting reinvested in Spyro because of seeing the content. That's pretty cool. That's been really neat for me. Again, that skybox breaking thing that happens with my Emu is happening a little bit, so I am sorry for that in this playthrough. If I knew how to fix it, I would have fixed it before I started, but it's weird because it feels like it gets worse as we get to Dreamweavers, and I'm not sure why. Really don't know why. If anybody techie here can explain it to me, that would be excellent, and I will fix it. But it also kind of just feels like it's part of that nostalgic broken charm. Now we are missing like 11 gems, and I'm not exactly sure where I left those. To be honest with you, one thought is... no, I actually don't know. I'm always surprised when this happens. Now you can do a wall glide there, by the way, and get over there. It's a speedrunner technique. I'm not good at it, so not gonna waste your time, but it is something that you can do. I don't think that this is at the beginning of the level, I really don't, but we will check. It is. Okay, never mind, I missed this whole section. And then we're gonna be solid, we're gonna be done. So we can go back to the exit portal, but yeah. The color palette of Beastmakers as a kid was not appealing to me. I think, you know, I mean, there's psychology behind this, but kids are definitely drawn to more bright, colorful, fun colors. But like I said, as I've gotten older, I have fallen for the more natural color palettes. Yeah, so anyway, we will head out of here and then make our way to Misty Bog, which is the place that's full of frog. And a lot of people hate it. I actually don't hate it. Now, I do hate that room with all the frog, all the forgs taking over, but I actually like Misty Bog quite a bit. In fact, if I had to pick a favorite Beastmakers level, and I may have contradicted this previously, so if I did, my apologies, but I think Misty Bog is probably my favorite. And my least favorite is not Treetops, it might even be Terrace Village. It's not that I hate Terrace Village, but it's just not my favorite. So, I think most people recognize these dragon-eating trees. One of the scariest things as a child. And as you inch closer to them, look what happens. They start revving up. Whoa! I thought he was going to keep revving until I walked again, but no, he was ready. Anyway. Worth a good solid 5 gems, as it should be for a near-death experience. Now that one, not so much. And then 5 again. I do wonder how they determine these things. And I have to think at the end of the day, when there are little inconsistencies like that, that maybe it's just trying to get the point values to be even. But anyway. Now you can wait till the end to do this, because as you can see in the distance, when we get up there toward the end, we can glide back over here. Now that was weird. That thing happened that happens to me in Beastmakers with that glowing ball. Yeah, you see that. Is it sparks? Is it sparks? In first person mode? Is that what that is? I actually don't know. I've been trying to figure it out forever now. But I've never experienced it outside of Beastmakers and Beastmakers Worlds. So let me know in the comments if you have. But now I'm starting to wonder if it sparks. But then again, that doesn't really make sense, because other times I experience it, it's not in triangle first person mode. It's actually just sitting here. It will happen in the sky. So anyway. Getting him from his behind is one of the best things you can do. When he's on the run. Those dudes have long freaking tongues, man. long freaking tongues and mohawks. Have you ever met a frog with a mohawk? I have, and it was here. You know, I think it's funny because if I look back to like being a kid, it surprises me that I didn't look for frogs that had mohawks. See, look, this is like an infinite rev. I'm way closer to him. Also, look at what's happening in the distance. Drama. Infinite rev. So I don't know. I can't determine the distances there and what they mean now. This is pathetic, because this also happens in Town Square with the bull and the Nork. And as you can see, whoops, if you rescue the Nork, after he stops glitching, he decides he hates you again. And I'm like, I'm the reason you're alive right now, and you have the audacity to try to destroy me because you are so loyal to your dictator, Mr. Nork, Mr. Ganasty. Ridiculous, he's in a cult.
Be on the lookout for attack frogs. They are cold-blooded killers.
Attack frogs?
And this used to be such a nice swamp.
I think that he might be one of my favorite dragons. Anyway, if you notice a blip in the recording, I had a bit of a cat fiasco. But I think we're back. For now. Alright, this is one of the most satisfying things you will ever do in a Spyro game. That said, fan level creators such as Spirit95 have done some really fun and funny things with their placement of Norks. I've yet to figure out the best way to do this, by the way. Anyway, we'll place them by like TNT chests, etc., like a bunch of them. And when you ignite them, then it just destroys all the Norks. And it's really funny. Now, this is the room. Oh my, I didn't expect him to levitate in that direction. Let one get me accidentally. The frogs are your biggest concern. I mean, really, these guys are kind of useless overall. They're kind of just there to be an extra annoyance amidst the frogs. But anyway, very interesting room. I mean, you're clearly, you see like dirt and root systems. It's interesting. So Damon.
Thanks for releasing me. It seems like I've been trapped in here since I was your age. Oh, no. Why, I remember... gotta go.
That was probably a Papaw. I didn't really get Peepaw vibes. He didn't seem quite that old. But I do like that they did this funny running joke of like really old dragons. Boring Spyro. Boring young, you know, aspirational, ambitious Spyro with their long life stories, which, you know, let's be real for a second. As you get older, you start to appreciate that stuff. Now, I always did a little bit, to be fair. I've always thought that, like, older people are kind of precious. But as you get older, you will start to appreciate what the elders have to say. Now, it doesn't mean that some of them aren't a-holes, because they are, sometimes. But there's also a lot to learn from many of them. Zeke.
Thank you for releasing me.
You're welcome. Let's watch this. Just let it happen. Don't rush into things if they're going to take care of themselves for you. But yeah, I could go on my elderly person tangent for a long time, but just know that there are actually a lot of cool stories from elderly people in Appalachia, just because of how different things were not even that long ago. Technology advanced incredibly quickly, and we millennials, especially the baby ones like me, I'm at the very, very end, the very like cusp between Gen Z and millennial. Man, we just saw the world explode with technology very quickly. I mean, you see 1998 Spyro versus a game in 2008. Look at the difference in graphics.
I'll tell you what to do with those creatures. Smash them, Spyro! Stamp them out and squish them
And squash them.
Love
Love this guy.
How about charge them and flame them? We are dragons after all.
Yeah, we are, I suppose. However, Bubba, was that his name? I think it was, it seems right. He appreciates his size, okay? He's just happy to be a thick man with the power to stomp and squish. There's a lesson to be learned from people like Bubba. I believe we shouldn't just stomp, squish, and squash just because we can. We should save that for when it really matters. But anyway, we won't get into the ethics of squishing and squashing right now. I got everything. It's a miracle. So the question now is, what's the fastest way to get back here? And I think it's this. And I've never done that before, actually. Not once in my life have I actually turned around, I don't think, and glided to the exit portal there. I think I get excited. And ew, stop that. I glide to the beginning platform of the level just because it's like, it looks fun. And here we are, y'all. Treetops. Here it is. And I, like always, will do the cheating way I play this. And you've seen it a billion times by now if you've been with me for a hot minute. Because I've done Treetops a lot on the channel, whether it be Reignited, Reverse Mod, Prototype, now Classic Spyro in a live stream. I always tell the story, so I'm not going to tell it again. I'm going to show you what I do, but I'm not going to tell the story again. And if you want to hear the story, then you can check out other Treetops content on my channel, because I feel like a broken record. And also because maybe it'll make you watch it. I'm kind of kidding, but if it works, it works. If you're invested, you know. Now, for some reason, no matter what version of the game I play, when I get through here, there's a little bit of lagginess compared to the rest of the gameplay. I'm not sure what that's about. But, anywho. I love this texture right here, and I honestly never noticed it. These little green diamonds on the ground. And I always thought this was really fun. These were really cool because you can almost squeeze between them, but you can't. It feels like you should, but you can see between them. And you can see what's going on over here. How do we get over there? And, you know, of course it's blocked off. Now, I never thought about trying to rig anything here and get over there that way. And of course they have it blocked off for a reason, and by the time you get back here, you're too far to be able to glide. Logically. But we'll pick up these Christmas gems. This section always made me think of Christmas, especially because I got this game for Christmas. Lyle.
Greetings, Spyro. For an amazing tour of the Treetops. Don't just stop at one supercharge.
Fair. But now that we have our checkpoint, because this might take a few tries, we'll do the cheat that I learned accidentally as a kid. Oh, and we nailed it this time. So yeah, you just supercharge into the whirlwind and fly back. And it avoids the correct way of doing it. It lets you get there quicker. And like I said, I'm not going to tell the full story or anything, but I didn't even know the right way to do that for a long time.
That was quite a ride, Spyro. You've learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
So sassy. Although, to be fair, I would probably be sassy too if all the adults were baby back butts and I had to save them. Now, I always thought this campfire was interesting because the color is a little different than other campfires we've seen. It's a little bit more of a greenish yellow, which is interesting. Alright. So, now we go to the over here that's got these weird little, I really don't know what these pillar things are supposed to be. If anybody knows, let me know. They might just be decor. They might just be here to be here. I don't know. I don't really know what purpose that they serve. But they do have those cool little triangle things on top, which I like. Alright, now I've got another beautiful wooden supercharge. I can't tell you how many times I have done that in my life. I just don't get a good glide. And it's embarrassing, but what do you do? Now, since we're back here, let's see what happens when we do this. Because I think I know. Because we're technically not supposed to do this. Yeah, see, you overshoot. That's what I thought. You overshoot the chest, which could be confusing to some because they may think, oh, I should double supercharge. But really, that first supercharge is meant for you to sharply turn onto the wooden one and go backwards onto that little supercharge-less ramp. And that's how you are supposed to get to where? Butthole. Absolute butthole. That's how you're supposed to get to the one that we just got. Looks like all the fires here are that way. Must be a Treetops thing. Or maybe it's a Beastmaker's thing. But anyway. There are a lot of different paths here. And I can see it being overwhelming for a child the first time. And the other thing is that, y'all, I mean, we don't think about it so much now, but we really don't appreciate, like, the level of tech that this game was on at the time. I mean, you gotta think, like, the closest thing to this that was out in the same year was like, okay, 1998 was when Spyro came out. That's also when Zelda Ocarina of Time came out. A little bit before that, I believe, was Mario 64, which was a groundbreaking game in technology. But yeah, it's wild.
Spyro, if you jump at the end of a supercharge ramp, you can really go far.
I'm all over it.
I had a really, really funny glitch, and I wish you could link shorts in the cards, but I don't think you can. I had a really funny glitch in Reignited that should be out soon if it's not already. It is on my Facebook by now, I think. I have it ahead on my Facebook schedule, but really weird glitch in Reignited with that dragon, with Isaac. I believe was his name. Essentially, it just skipped his dialogue and then played his dialogue later while Spyro was responding to him. So they were like talking at the same time, and it was really weird. It was really weird. Now, let me think where I'm supposed to go now. So I need to go here and not supercharge there. Try to glide here properly. And then get this chest, and then we still have to do that section over there. I've kind of dilly-dallied around a bit in Treetops, just being silly, exploring. That was a good double jump chest hit there. So I made it last a lot longer than it needed to, but that's okay. Now, on a personal note, because this is a long play, we talk about all things and everythings. If you're wondering where my bangs are, I have a hair appointment today. My bangs are too long to have under my beanie. I would look like a sheepdog. I wouldn't be able to see. So I stuffed them into my hat. But they are still here. They're still part of my vibe. Don't you worry. Can't get rid of those. Alright. So, I'm doing this wrong. See, I'm getting confused because I'm blabbing too much. Another very minor but random thing that they changed in the final version versus the prototype is that room back there we were just in where you pick which direction you want to go. Wait, am I even doing this right? Yes, I am. The texture of that floor was like stone instead of wooden, which is interesting. Yay, we made it. Always interesting to see the thieves with the gems for the first time, because I think this is the first time that happens. Because we're used to them being egg thieves. Now, I do have to wonder, is that why they're not blue? You know, I don't know. But we got everything here and we're ready to move on to, I believe, Metalhead already, which is wild. So the basic format, I think you've noticed so far, has been, I think it has been 3 levels and a boss level. Because in the Artisans world, we have Stonehill, Dark Hollow Town Square, and then Toasty, the boss. And then in Peacekeepers, we have Dry Canyon, Cliff Town, Ice Cavern, and then Dr. Shimp, the boss. And then here we had, Magic Crafters. We had Alpine Ridge, High Caves, Wizard Peak, and the boss. And then here we had Terrace Village, Misty Bog, Treetops, and then Metalhead, the boss. Now, when we get to, does that pattern stay in Dreamweavers? Let's think about it. I think it does. We have Dark Passage. We have Lofty Castle. We have Haunted Towers. And then Jacques, the boss. So yeah, that pattern does continue, which I never really thought about it before. All the homeworlds have the same amount of levels. So that is interesting. And then even Nork Nexus, right? I'm way... Because I don't often play to the end of Spyro 1, I do sometimes forget some of the level names. I know we've got Twilight Harbor. Nork Cove is the first one, Twilight Harbor, and then we just have Nasty Nork and Nasty's Loot, right? So is it just 2 levels, the boss, and then a bonus? But either way, it's following the same pattern of 4 levels per world. So maybe that's why they did it like that. Bowling for what? Soup? If you're from the 2000s, you get that reference. I think they sing 1985, don't they? Anyway, she never had it all. 1 Prozac a day has been to CPA. We'll wait on you. Let's go ahead and do this section and get it over with. Then we can just go beat the boss, and we'll already be going to Dreamweavers, which is absolutely wild. But I'm here for it. I think splitting this up into 2 parts was a good choice. My voice was getting very tired before. So here we are, refreshed, collecting keys. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I want you all to let me know if you like the long play format, because it is more difficult in a way, but it's also not, because as much as I love doing LPs, and I will continue to do LPs with shorter parts, but as much as I love doing them, they are quite exhausting to keep up with, because I usually have multiple going at once, and it's hard for me to manage, like, what should I do next? What should I record next? What should I edit next? And then, like, finally completing them. I don't want to abandon any LPs. That always makes me feel bad, and I have put some on the back burner. My Crash Bandicoot Insane Warped is on the back burner. My Croc Legend of the Coppos is on the back burner. Spider-Man is wrapping up, so that's good.
This big robot is all charged up to meet you. Attacking the power pole should disrupt its power supply.
All right. I'm down for that. And of course, this, all this electricity stuff led up to Metalhead. There's this big electric-themed robot boss at the end that's behind all this. It's interesting. Okay, so that should be good. He moves on. I remember being very shook by this as a kid. That guy is massive. And if you see my reverse mod playthrough, I got a really epic thumbnail of him, of his face, because we're not used to seeing him up close, but the reverse mod by Hajorn starts you backwards. So it starts the level. That was really quick. Starts you at the end of the level, and I was actually able to get up above him and look down at him and get a really close look at him, and he's actually looking up at me, which was super duper creepy. But yeah, now there are probably some talented Spyro people that could glide over there from here. I'm not one of them, but it probably is possible. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Spyro 1 that I have not learned. I've not had the patience to learn. Because to be fair, my thing about racing Spyro 1 is to me, it's already a super fast game. So I'm not as, keen to learn the skips and stuff, because it's I'm already beating this so quickly. It's kind of nuts, right? So, whereas Spyro 2, the double jump thing, totally, really, it's a true game changer. Now, it is hard to get over there sometimes. You kind of have to pick your vantage point. Sometimes just tensing up to do it makes the difference. It's beyond me. I think it's a superpower. I didn't mean to do that. Anyway. What an unnecessarily long attempt. Now, before I destroy these, I do want to show you this. Every version of this game that I play, I can see the treasure chest through the wall, and I don't know what that is. Now, I haven't tested it on actual PlayStation. I'd be curious to see. That should be everything. That was 15, right? Yep. So there we are. We're done, and we're ready to go to Dreamweavers. And chill out there, which I'm very excited about because it's my other favorite homeworld. And I just love the color palette, and I think that the critters are interesting. Cray the Balloonist says, I feel much better now that so many dragons have been rescued. Jump in the balloon and I'll show you the Dreamweavers world. Now, it's clear what Dreamweavers do. They're in charge of dreams. Makes sense, because everything is very whimsical there. Now, Beastmakers, you could argue, oh, well, they're the people that make the beasts. What beasts? The beasts in Alpine Ridge? Beasts in general? I don't know. One of my least favorite things, and I have a really weird phobia. Now that we're in Dreamweavers, I'll tell you about it. I have a really weird phobia that has to do with airplanes. And yes, it does have to do with getting on them, but it also doesn't so much. The phobia that I have of airplanes is actually I have this massive phobia of them crashing down on me. I don't know if it was the state of my country and the things that had happened. I won't get too dark into detail there, but when I was 5 or 6, or what caused it, but I've always had this massive fear of airplanes landing on me, to the extent that I dream, I have anxiety dreams about it at least 2 to 3 times a week. Now, you might be thinking, Noelle, please get therapy. Don't worry, I already am in therapy. The other thing is, I have to give you some context and say that I have nightmares
and anxiety dreams almost every night, and I definitely remember my dreams every single night. There's not a night that goes by that I don't have a dream that I remember. Let's free this dragon and I'll continue. Latif.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one. While chasing Nasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
I realized that I did not do the Flying World in Beastmakers, and I am so sorry. So I will complete Dreamweavers now, and then we will run back to Beastmakers really quickly. Make sure I got everything there. But anyway, the airplane thing. An airplane just went over that was clearly a personal plane, and if you don't know what I mean when I say that, I mean like a private owner plane, like a small plane. But I hate when they fly over and they sound like they're about to just crap the bed. They just don't sound good or reliable, because I have that phobia. Now, little planes like that don't trigger it as badly. But there is a military plane that likes to, on no apparent schedule, fly over my house and scare the absolute bejesus out of me. And it's an experience, I'll just say that.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done.
I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
That's true. 60 dragons, we're doing pretty solid, but anyway, when that thing goes over, there is no warning. There's no preparation. It's so loud and so fast that my cats kind of like glue themselves to the floor because they can't figure out where to run to get away from it. It is pretty funny to see that. Now, I have been outside a few times when it has flown over, and I'm too scared to make eye contact with it. I cover my ears and close my eyes because it's so overwhelming, and I just want it to be over with. So if anyone else has that phobia, please do let me know.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
Alright. Sounds alright to me too. I still have a lot of gems to get here before I go back and do the Flying World. I can't believe I forgot that. See, if I was live streaming, you wouldn't have let me forgot it. Letting me? What the hell? You wouldn't have let me forget. But it's okay, and I missed those gems back here too, so I have to go back. No, I didn't. I got them. My brain is just slowly withering away. Kind of. Now again, like I said, as we get to Dreamweavers, things start to get a little slower, choppier looking. In my experience with the emulated version of this game, but I need to test it out on PlayStation 1 and see if I notice it. Okay. Now, Lofty Castle is my favorite level in the entire game, even though Magic Crafters is my favorite homeworld. And you can rig that, what we just did there, you could rig that. You don't have to do it like that, but we did. Alright. Okay, so now we can go back to the balloonist and go do our Flying World. Apologies again. Now, he's of course telling us we can go to Nasty's world we don't want to yet, which is insane, that we can pretty much skip Dreamweavers. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So, I'll see you at the Flying World. Alright, we are entering Wild Flight. And we have 8,000 treasure right now. That's beautiful. 25 seconds. Absolutely ridiculous, but this is where we're at. The Flying Worlds. And always, in every situation, the best thing to do is to face the airplanes, which we just talked about,
my airplane fear, not easy for me to face these. I'm kidding. These don't necessarily bother me because they're so small. A single mark barely fits in them now. This does get, a little nerve-wracking when you go a while without being able to do that. But we got this. This gets crazy because these dudes like to start piling up, which is really funny to me. And then you kind of have to chase them sometimes to backtrack a little. And almost always I find that when look at this. 3 of them together. That was ridiculous. But we're gonna go back. I think we're gonna have time to get them, but sometimes you'll go through one of those arches. What the heck? And then one of the boats will come, and you don't know whether to go up or down. And it's a whole thing. So anyway, we got that taken care of very quickly, and we're going back to Peacemakers, or blah 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 blah. Dreamweavers, I will see you there. And here we are. Now we already destroyed all of these rat bastards, but it's okay because as soon as we get back from Dark Passage, they would have respawned anyway. So this is where I start to notice a lot of skybox breaking in my copy. Don't know what causes it, so I do apologize. But these vacuum cleaner dogs, man. Scary. I mean, this place is called Dreamweavers for a reason, and I never really understood the fact that they made adorable little puppies into enemies. Now, what they transform into makes sense, and I guess the joke here is, like, dreams can elaborate,
The enemies
cute,
here
simple
can be
things.
quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking.
Good, clever little hint there. But anyway. I always thought it was cruel that they made those little puppies, especially with the awful noises that they make when you kill them. So, anyway. Very sad. Very bothersome. And those guys will happen so freaking fast, and it pees me off a lot. Makes me less chill. This is where the chill part starts to get a little bit more difficult for me to maintain. It was easy.
Thank you for releasing me.
I have very much to say. Now, before we go any further, this is actually a Spyro 2 Glimmer themed shirt. But it is available on my store. My friend made it, and it's inspired by the Glimmer gem, but it reminds me of Dreamweavers because of the color palette, so I did want to show that off here and say if it's something you're interested in, that's a fun way to support the channel and get something in return. So, if you do that, I appreciate it. Essentially, if you do that, you will be helping me make more giveaways because I am not selling any shirts, really. Every now and then somebody buys one and it blows my mind, because I actually really made them for my giveaways. So I'm okay with that. It's not a strategy that I'm trying to profit off of. I really hate this guy. I cannot stand him. Get out of here. My goodness, that was ridiculous. The same little rat bastard as last time. You don't even think about changing. I'm not ready for you yet. No, I also really do despise the Cupids. And I've talked about this before in Lofty Castle, but we don't need to get into it again. Bakari.
You know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Nasty Narc.
That's me, all right.
Thank you, Peepaw. That was a good, respectful Peepaw. Alright. Here we go. Now, this is the connector room that doesn't really make sense. I don't know about that little shortcut. Unless it's just to help if you, like, missed something. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose. So, charging on him seemed to help a little bit. Doing this, so I could kind of come down on him. I think that worked nicely. Alright. One of the most horrifying, terrible things that certainly promotes nightmarish conditions is this. Cruel. So cruel. Now this is also terrible because he never lights his lamp. You have to light it for him. Screw off, little guy. The turtles are really annoying, but it's okay. Dogs, not so much. They're kind of slow with their attacks. They have to run up to you and then bite, and it takes them a minute to bite. But the turtles have distance spitters, and the fact that they can just reload those fireballs so fast is crazy. Now, something really cool happens in the prototype if you haven't seen it. And that is, the turtles actually spit fire bats. They look like fire geese from the Legend of Zelda series. If you know what those are, that's pretty much what they look like. It's pretty cool. Apara.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Nasty, but I'd really hate being trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry.
That's
the
fair.
only one who's gonna be trapped is him.
Yeah, that's true. We have to stretch. Sometimes. Alright, now this is where things start to get a little tricky, but I do want to say I think they can reach me from there, but they're not trying to yet. I love the purple hue that glistens off of the purple goo on the bottom floor. Another thing that happens in the prototype playthrough I did that's really cool, and again, the quality of it. What the absolute hell just happened? I'm banning distractions. I'm tired of them. Okay. Another thing that happened in my prototype playthrough was that this goo that's actually on the bottom of the main center section was not drownable. It was just solid like a floor. So if you fell down there, you got stuck down there because you wouldn't die and you couldn't get back up. It's very weird. I guess they just hadn't added that feature yet into the game. Oh, bossy.
Thank you for releasing me.
You're welcome. No problem. I'm already here, aren't I? Might as well. Okay, now here's a similar room to the Misty Bog room, and they brought this back pretty quick, to be fair. And if there's any other rooms that you can think of that are similar to this, leading up to Misty Bog and Dark Passage, drop them in the comments, because I'm trying to think. And I guess you could count certain rooms as that style of, you know, loaded with enemies, just maybe not as intensely, like Ice Cavern, for example, maybe. When you go backwards in the level and you get your lives and glide into that room, I could kind of see that. I don't know, actually. There's only a couple enemies in that room. I don't know. I always just thought this, that room that we were just in and the Misty Bog room were very similar, but now let's see. Oof, we're still short 20. That's a lot, actually. Well, I gotta figure out why. I'm not really sure. Let me think. These. It's almost misleading, but I can't believe I forgot those. Walked right by them. Walked right by them. Now, another fun thing I discovered that was actually a Reignited Trilogy in Dark Passage is that when you use the Free Flight mod that is included in Bunbear Ness's OmniSwapper server, no, OmniSwapper mod. Sorry, I'm used to saying her server. you can actually land on some of those meteors that are there as decor, which is pretty cool. Because it's rare in Reignited for you to find as much collision as you find in the classic Spyro games. So when you do find it, it's really exciting. Alright, so now we get to go to my favorite, which is Lofty Castle. So I'm excited about that. And we're getting really close to finishing this playthrough, and what's cool about us 100%ing things is we will be able to do Nasty's loot instantly, which is pretty freaking epic. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Lofty Castle. So if you're watching this, you're definitely a loyal fan, so I just want to thank you. I hate to even call people fans because I don't feel like I'm an actual, like I know I'm a content creator, but it's hard for me to look at myself like that. So I instead of saying fan of the channel, I really just want to say like a loyal supporter of the channel, if you will, a loyal community member. And because of that, if you made it this far, you know, I love to have your suggestions and opinions. I want to do more long plays, which again, like I said, are hard for me. I'm starting with Spyro 1 because it's one of the easiest games for me to complete without being overwhelmed, to 100% without being overwhelmed. But I do want to do it for more stuff, and I'm curious if you would want to hear other platformer game playthroughs in the chill format, or if you don't care either way and you just want to see me play more long plays. So yeah, I am interested in some games that I didn't grow up with, like Banjo-Kazooie. I'm not opposed to trying Rayman. I don't think I would do a chill version of Crash Bandicoot. I don't think I could because I get so frustrated when I play it, although it would be a challenge. But those are games that I never 100%ed. I was always the person that just got the main thing you need and abandoned the gems. Here's Mudada.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro.
But I am curious if you enjoy this format and you want to see more, what you would want to see. So make sure you leave a timestamp if you answer this question, so I can remember what I was referring to. But I would love to hear from you. I'm wanting to really make content that you all are looking for and asking for and wanting. That I also happen to enjoy, of course.
Thank you for releasing me.
That is all. That was it. Okay. Works for me. Not my business. Not my monkeys, not my circus. Now, as you can see, a lot of sections of Lofty Castle have been doing the skybreak thing too. Which is less than ideal. Oh, I've missed a fairy. Oh, she's over there. I forgot about that. One of the best songs ever. When this song comes on, it's really hard for me to not start dancing. Just throwing that out there. Okay. It's just such a good song. Oh, I missed that bird pig at the beginning. I'll have to go back and get it, because it's going to be worth some money. So we'll start down here and get these out of the way so we don't have to backtrack. And then we can just glide across here and get those Norks and knock them out. Alright, let's see. And it's tough because you have to do... Yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. You have to time it perfectly to be able to get all of them. It's really difficult. They've got those dudes in the in-between of the fairy boxes. Sometimes they just take over, but I like these fairies. I like their design. Let's see who this is.
You see me?
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle, too. See where it takes you.
I will. I will. But yeah, I saw someone comment on one of the fan levels complaining about the fairies, saying they just don't like them. I thought that was an interesting take because I feel like... Darn it. I do this a lot. I feel like the fairies are one of the things that people love about Spyro. Maybe not. But it feels like that. And it's definitely more of a Spyro 1 thing, and then after that we pretty much just have... We have Zoe, and then we have the Charmed Ridge Fairy, Amy, and that whole situation with those ladies. But I like the fairies. I thought it was an interesting take to not like the fairies, but to each their own. Now, I need to go down here and do this. I didn't even do this. How did I get by with not doing this? Oh, I went the other way. Okay. That's another thing, is levels that give me a choice, I usually complete them in the most chaotic order possible available to me. I already have the key, so we can get that. I like the way that they do the key chest openings. I just think it's really nice. That you get to see everything that's going on around you still while they open, instead of it being like a separate cutscene. And it's kind of zoomed out, right? So you can kind of see what's going on around you. Like, for example, in that case, we were able to still see the life chest blinking in the background while we opened the treasure chest. I just think that's cool. So that was a 2-pointer that we absolutely needed. But we still needed more money. And I know why. We've missed an entire section so far. But we're going to go back this way. The way that you're technically supposed to start the level, I believe. And we're going to retrieve what we have lost. I think that we need to go back this way and use those fairies, and that takes us over to this other castle section. Now, I want to talk about something really weird that just happened to me just now, like right now. And because I think a lot of you will understand it with your connection to Spyro, I just got... It must have been something about the exact placement I was in at the time. But I had this visceral experience where I actually tasted and smelled pizza from a particular pizza place, to the extent that, like, okay, I don't even eat banana peppers, but I guess my brain associated, that was silly, the smell of banana peppers, like, being part of this pizza place. It's like a local, not a local pizza place, but it's a pizza place that only exists in, like, Kentucky, Ohio, maybe West Virginia. Anyway, we must have been eating there when I was playing this here, because I not only got that experience, but I had that, like, drop in my stomach that you get when you're, like, happy or, like, emotional, I guess. It's like this nostalgic serotonin feeling, which was really cool, actually, because sadly I don't get those a lot anymore. I think we can all relate to that as we get older and, you know, mental health, whatever. So that was really cool. And it's one of the main reasons I love to play Spyro, and I love to make Spyro content for people. Because this is just such a comforting game and a comforting experience. So, yeah, anyway, that was really cool. And that was something that would not have even been a story to tell if I hadn't been here with you all right now in this moment. Because something, I mean, I've played this 1,000 times. Nothing before cued that visceral, like, memory where, like, I actually tasted and smelled that item, and it makes me want to eat that pizza place, even though I don't even eat banana peppers. So I think we got everything. Boom. We are out of here, and we can move on to Haunted Towers. And then this time, I will do Jacques, and I will do my best to not forget the flying world. So let's see what we can do. Alright, I gotta think about where I'm supposed to be going. Haunted Towers. Now what's funny about this
is the order of the levels is actually very weird, because you really would go to Jacques next, but we're not going to do that. Now, most of our bosses, WoW, have been in a linear order, but even if you think back to, what would you say? Is it not Treetops? What am I thinking? Artisans World. Toasty is kind of offset in the middle too, technically speaking. But anyway, the level that I experience the most skybreaking in when I play Spyro is Haunted Towers, so I'm sorry. The skybox gets absolutely eaten, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, very good song. I love the different textured wizards that we get to experience here. I mean, Haunted Towers really steps up the game. Now, why the grenade norks are here, it really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. When we have like wizard-like creatures and themes of magic. But I guess, you know, a grenade nork might be something that someone sees in their nightmares. It's definitely not impossible. Now, I have had some chaotic experiences in Hajorn's Pete's Gauntlet mod in this level. One of the first things I did when I came back to YouTube at my low quality state, if you will, was, wow, Pete's Gauntlet in this level, and it was a wild experience, to say the least. It is available if you want to go back and watch it, but wow, it was pretty crazy. So anyway, I told this story a lot, but every time I play this level, I think about how the first night me and my dad played all the way through Spyro, we didn't know you needed a memory card, and we made it to here. We made it to that dragon over there, and we thought that when we turned the console back on, we would be where we left off. And that's when we learned the hard lesson about memory cards. Now, nowadays, that wouldn't be a problem thanks to autosave, but back then it was unthinkable. You had to have a memory card, so just a fun little lore fact. But let's rescue this dragon.
Hey Spyro, all dragons know there's magic in a fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
Everyone knows that there's magic in the kiss of a fairy. He actually said it the better grammatical way. He used active voice. I forgot to do that. Like a big dum-dum. Always wanted to see if I could fit through that, though. But anyway, he said a fairy's kiss instead of the kiss of a fairy. So if you want to know the difference between active and passive voice would be the fairy's kiss. Passive voice would be the kiss of a fairy. So anyway. I didn't need to do that, but it just felt more fun.
Hold your horns! Here comes Spyro!
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most, Nasty Nork.
Soon. Alright. So, there's a lot to handle there, but first we're gonna go ahead and knock this stuff out. And it's just fun to be able to flame the metal chests, to be honest with you. And the color of this room is just gorgeous. Look at the lighting in here. Very nice. Now we will re-get the power up and face these monsters. And the good news is, once we get closer over here, we have another fairy power-up we can use. So we need to focus on getting past this guy. then do this. Alright. There we go. Now, there's a way to handle that other section over there with supercharge, but we could also technically use the fairy's power-up. Now, this is the end of the level, or so we think. But this is, again, another situation where things are a little bit funky. They're a little bit funky and unpredictable, so we can glide over here. Knock that out real quick. And then probably go ahead and collect this stuff just to make it easier on ourselves. Lovely, beautiful, 10 out of 10. We may have flashed forwarded a bit, so let me show you what I did. Let's go back down into this hole. I thought I unpaused the recording and it didn't unpause, but I caught it pretty quick. So what we did was, well, in case you don't know, you didn't really miss much. No gem collection or anything like that. We had to go to the top of the supercharge, and then over here, it's quite disifying, to be fair. And here, that was a really high jump. That was almost so high we could have landed on that platform, which was pretty cool. Now, I don't know what determines that. And we did miss the dragon, so we're going to replay him. Thank goodness that is a feature.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So, this is where things get dicey. The chaos ensues right here. This is one of the first times I learned about anxiety. Look at that. Almost caught up with me, but nope. And now, we get the beautiful Paramore Fairy. She really does be looking like Riot-era Hayley Williams. With the orange hair, which, I get it. I also like orange hair. So anyway, she's the superpower punk hero we've got that gives us permanent fairy power-up flame. We don't have to ever use it again as long as we're in this level, which is really cool. But unfortunately, we don't spend a whole lot longer in this level, which is, you know, unfortunate for the exciting power-up that we received. Now, we do, however, have to go here, snatch this one, and then see if we missed any gems, which I'm guessing we didn't. Oh, we did. We still need 15 gems. I gotta figure out where they are. I genuinely don't know. I know we knocked everybody up there out. We can fall through this, and I always loved the way that this reconnected. I thought it was very nice. Oh, wait. Maybe they're at the end over here. Well, no, we've already been there. So probably not. Yeah, probably not. Where are these missing gems? You know, I feel like when I do LP parts that I don't really miss gems as much as I am in this long play, and maybe it's just because I'm spending a lot more time on this one. But maybe they're over here on one of the sides, maybe? No? No, okay. Where are these 15 gems? It has to be at the beginning somewhere then. I thought I came back here and got these, I did. Lots of sky-breaking moments. Maybe I missed you. And you. That's what it is. Perfect. We forgot to go back with our flame. And by we, I mean me. I should take accountability for that, because you had nothing to do with it, did you? Alright. So we'll run back to the exit portal, and then we'll be ready to face Jacques, which is exciting. supercharged. I gotta remember, where even is the exit portal here? Oh yeah. I don't even need to go up here, I just need... Well, okay, I guess we can do it this way. Alright. Fall through the ceiling, turn around. Guess we didn't need to turn around. I got disoriented, which I do quite a bit with direction. I'm not very good with direction. I'm not somebody you want to be in charge of the maps when you go hiking. Just don't let me do that ever. Okay, so off to Jacques, our flying world, and then we are in Norconexus, which is absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane, and the membrane, bro. But I'm really excited about it. Alright. So, Jacques, here we are. Entering Jacques, and this is where the giant pansies live. They horrify me. Around Halloween, I did a pause to catch, you know, who's hiding in your closet type of thing for Spyro, and I put the giant pansies on there because for me, that would be the worst thing I could get. The spookiest thing. I think that the giant pansies, which are not these, by the way, they're these, and they're both horrifying. These are armored... I can't remember their names. They're armored something, but these are giant pansies. And those ladies freak me the frick-frack out really badly. Alright, so let's fight those pansies. What a time to be alive, honestly. Alright. This whole section just gets frustrating. I think I'm gonna take it... I always try to find like a better way to do it, and I just don't think there is one. I mean, there is, but there's also not. And it's just aggravating, but we're gonna beat this game. We're gonna finish it. Let's just go this way for now. Get this side over with. Alright. Here we go. Okay. So, we don't have that key yet, of course, because it's over here. And I'm fine with that. Now, these guys get tricky because you have to charge them, and it's really easy to accidentally charge yourself off the cliff, so you want to be careful about what direction you're facing when you go to fight them. Now, Jacques is in there, and if you don't pronounce it Jacques, you're wrong. So let's just get that out there. I'm bad at pronunciation sometimes when it's not like a very obviously English-derived word. But that's one thing I am actually confident in. I've heard people call it Jacques, which is understandable, that's how it's spelled. Okay, done been up there. Let's go over here now and try to get this section taken care of. Then we will use the chest key and go fight the boss already, which does go by rather quickly. Now, if you hear something that's squeaky, I'm sorry. I've done everything I can to keep my kitty cats off of their little condo that is beside my desk, but they are feeling it today. And sometimes there's nothing I can do when the kitty cats are feeling it. So, usually once Phobo is up there, after she finishes cleaning herself, she'll sleep and be quiet, but...
Thank you for releasing me.
And that was an award-winning speech. Thank you, sir. Ah. An extendo wall, and I failed. There we go. You can almost always feel it when you miss a glide.
in Spyro 1. You always know when you're gonna be short. Wow. That was sad. Okay. Let's see here. The best thing to do is jump up on this to glide back over. Makes it easier. And that was just for fun. Now, this is both terrifying and satisfying at the same time. Technically, you would have wanted to glide and perfectly hit all of them. I messed up, and I was a little short, which made me land on the platform. But it's okay, because at least we didn't lose any hit points, which is good. So, now it's time to go back. Go all the way back. This is one of my least favorite glides right here, because it is a little tight. But we can get back over here this way if we want. It's one of those levels that just circles and circles around. Oh my goodness, that's not what I wanted to happen. These clock dudes gave me so much anxiety as a kid, and sometimes they still do. They still do give me anxiety. But there's our treasure chest. Beautiful. We're gonna get some mega hard cash for this guy. He must be really wanted in the Dragon Realms. Revilo?
Any advice before this battle?
Advice. A wise dragon once told me, aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
Not the best advice, but when you see Jacques, you'll understand that it actually does help. Aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes. Now the aim high, not really sure where that comes in, other than like he ends up being really high on the platform before you can hit him. That's the only thing I can think of. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright. Let's see if we got everything. Fingers crossed here. Please. We did. Amazing. So we're ready to go to the flying world, which I think this one... Man, I don't know. There's Night Flight, Crystal Flight, Wild Flight, Sunny Flight, and I always forget, like, the last little section. I don't know. I struggle with it for some reason. But we're gonna knock it out. We'll see here. Who is it? It's Icy Flight. I always forget about Icy Flight. Always. Every time. Alright. Very good song, though. But it is quite the chaotic ride. There's a few different ways you can do it, like all flying worlds. One of the best, in my opinion, is to kind of like intermix the lights and the treasure chests. My problem is sometimes I forget the locations of some of the above. I think that's it for chests. And this guy. Okay, and they kind of make your way back. Let's start with the trains here. It's a decent way to do it, but there's definitely a faster way. Same thing here, you want to grab the train, come back and get these guys, and then by the time you get back around, another train will be on its way. I really thought it'd be closer than that, but it wasn't. We've got this. Gotta grab this one real quick. Oh, I missed that one. Not good. But it's okay. Oh wow, also missed that one. And that one. This is getting comical. It shouldn't be that difficult. It really shouldn't be. These Norks also look like such a weird scale, and they look different when
they're floating there, then when you flame them, which is really funny to me, I never noticed that before. When they're floating there, they have like a grayish white helmet on, and then when you destroy them, they have that typical design that we're used to them having with like the brown looking helmet. I don't know. Very weird. Anyway, we're moving on to Nork Nexus, which means we are about to beat the game. So let's glide over here to the balloonist, the baboonist. He's already told us that he's proud of us, so we won't get that dialogue again. But you did see it earlier. If you wanted to read it, I didn't read it because it was an accident. But we are now entering Nasty's world, so see how this goes. Alright, let's free the dragon. He might look familiar. Ah, it's Delbin. Again.
Hey, didn't I already free you?
You're in Nasty's world now, Spyro, and you are the dragon who must defeat him.
Bring him on! I'm ready!
Reach the exit in each of Nasty's lands. Then you can
like we've already been doing.
Himself.
So we've already been doing this because it makes me feel better. But in Nork Nexus, it does, in fact, make you use the exit portals, or it doesn't count, and the next world won't open. So I was correct. We've got Nork Cove, then Twilight Harbor. Now this one's, it's interesting. I guess they did this because it can't be sealed unless, I mean, they could have done it and had it automatically open. But anyway, Nork Cove is in a different portal design. The portal design for it in Reignited is actually pretty cool. I poorly photoshopped myself playing guitar inside of it for one of my silly thumbnails for my Reignited playthrough, which my Reignited playthrough with mods is complete of Spyro 1. I'm working on Spyro 2 right now, slowly but surely. But Spyro 1 is complete, so it is out there if you want to watch that. It blows my mind how popular that long-form content is right now, because with the shorts TikTok-style takeover and the whole, I don't know, like, just attention span issues everyone's having, I'm surprised that people are enjoying long-form content as much as they are, but it seems to be a thing again, especially for nostalgia and comfort, so hey, I'm here for it. Let's do it. Boom. Big massive underwear there. Now these do get tricky. I've certainly had my experiences with Nork Cove being chaotic due to the prototype, especially. It's rough, y'all. It's rough. Latif.
Keep up the good work, Spyro. I expect Nasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Nork boots if I were him.
One of his best quotes, one of the funniest quotes, was that one right there. Okay. Now, we're going on to some ships here. Some barges. Whatever. The underwear is really funny, and they did keep that in Reignited, surprisingly, but it's a little, like, masked, because it's not as vibrant. And it's a little harder to see it, because at first I thought they got rid of it, and I was mad. Because that's funny. It's good. It's good content. But they did not. They just, their graphical style just kind of, it comes off a bit dull, to be honest with you, but it's okay. It's okay. Not a massive complaint. Of all the complaints I have with Reignited, that is not going to be one that I, it's not going to be a hill I die on, if you will. It's not that serious. Lots of chaos there. But we're doing pretty solid. We're doing pretty well. This was always one of my favorite things. Very, just satisfying. Now, it is funny that that chest was just filled with one-pointer gems, but
that's what we've got. Christmas gems again. Now this gets funky. That's the best thing to do in my experience. Yeah, we're pretty solid here. Thomas, without an H again.
Wow! I never thought I'd be rescued, especially by such a little dragon. What I mean is, I always believed in you, Spyro.
You gotta believe!
See, I think that dialogue is a little bit silly, because we already have freed Thomas, so for him to say, I never thought I'd be freed, especially by such a little dragon. But you have before, already, not even that long ago. I don't know. They could have done that a little bit better. Now, the you gotta believe part for Spyro is very cute. Now, this is where the game has fallen apart on me many times in prototype versions and mods. But it's doing okay right now. Here. But to be honest with you, for all I know, I'm playing this in 4K right now. Which, if I am, it's doing pretty dang good. Because sometimes I change the emulator to 4K to get some really good screenshots, and then I forget to change it back. So hey, I'll take it if that's what's happening. Now, I love the tint of these rooms. You guys you've been through this with me before, you know how I feel. I didn't mean to do that. I think it's really funny that there's a key chest here, but like you don't get a key, so you're supposed to just know that you use the barrels, which is a little bit more difficult than you think. Takes a minute to get the right aim sometimes. But yeah, I love the color of the rooms, very nice. Let's knock this out first. Excellent. And then we will proceed to this next room. I cannot believe how fast we are getting through this. This is wild. Absolutely wild. Alright. So here's the twins. A twin barrel, if you will. Alright. Look at those guns. I don't know if anybody got that joke, but anyway. Please be everything, I beg of you. Is not 20 gems missing. What in the world did I do to miss 20 flippin' gems? Well, I'm guessing it's back here in all this mess. It has to be. Oh my gosh, I forgot to get the chest. The whole time I went right by it. But that's just 10 though. Oh my gosh, there's a 5 over here. What in the world? Brother. How? So I'm missing another 5-pointer from somewhere. This is crazy. Okay, it's not there. What an interesting turn of events. I was expecting it to be like just one section of things. Oh my gosh, it's under this barrel. Are you kidding me? That is wild and ridiculous. 400 of 400. Alright. Okay. Well, now we can make our way back downtown. Charging fast. No faces passed. Because... Passed. No faces pass. I always do that when I'm making this joke. Because we destroyed them. And we are technically not homebound yet. But after we beat Twilight Harbor, and then Ganarki, we will be. Now I'm going to do a little cheat here. I'm going to try to at least, yes. So we don't have to go all the way back through the tunnel. And now we can go grab some fodder from the main world, from Nork Nexus, and move on. Now, that's weird because I got everything, didn't I? Oh, I forgot to do Nork Nexus. I was like, why don't I have... Oh, I can't. Okay. I was like, why don't I have an even amount of gems? Because I've been having an even amount of gems. Okay. So now we get to do Twilight Harbor, the non-censored version. You're welcome to and entitled to your opinions about that change in Reignited. I think it was a little silly. A little bit silly to give them paintball guns, but whatever. Part of me gets it, part of me thinks it's plumb silly because we have all these first-person shooter games that the heathens are playing these days. That actually involve humans, but whatever you gotta do to get that rating through, I guess. Whatever you gotta do. Alright. I meant to jump. I was trying to jump. I didn't allow it. Well, this is another room I'm having like little just moment flashbacks in conversation flashbacks of when I was a kid. Which is funny because again, I've played this so many times as an adult. So it's funny how those things just seep in through different playthroughs. These guys get a lot more annoying toward the end, by the way. A lot more annoying toward the end. Why is my
Thank
phone
you for
blowing up?
releasing me.
Okay. Just had to check, see if there was actually something important going on. Alright. So we know we have to use the power up for that chest. And honestly, I'm really hungry right now, but I just want to finish this because I can't believe that I almost have finished it. This is wow, this is exciting. It's very exciting. I cannot imagine doing a long play of longer games like Zelda instead of breaking it up into parts. Oh my gosh. I guess you could play it in separate sessions and just put it all into one piece, but that would be massive. Be really massive. Let's go ahead and go up here. I've had some crazy things happen up here in mods. I just felt like doing that. Cletus is back.
Be on the lookout for Nort Commandos, Spyro.
They better be on the lookout for me.
Okay. So, one of my Facebook commenters pointed out that Cletus was in fact a different color, and it even looks like a different design. And I don't even think his voice was the same. Cletus is the one that was like, "It's nice to see you, Spyro, but I've got to go." Right? That's Cletus. With 2 E's, by the way. I'm kind of shook right now. Why did they change his color? And kind of his design and even potentially his voice? It's very interesting. And I like that they didn't put anything required over here, but they did put a life chest for like a little bonus. Bonus gift. I can't believe we have 41 lives also. That's pretty fire. I've only lost a few lives in this playthrough, and they were both just, well, all of them. I don't know if it was 2 exactly, but they were all just silly mistakes. Silly willy mistakes. Now we use the bottom section, which I always loved this design, but this was very smart, to get this. Okay. Good. Alright. So, now we get into gunman territory, and I donked that up really bad because now I'm just screwed. Now I'm just utterly screwed. So I need to go back here and get fodder because I will get destroyed in that room. It'll be the end of our purple friend. And then, okay. I have to be very strategic and very careful about these things. That should not have hit me. I was not even... I don't believe I was close to that grenade. Screw off. Okay. More fodder. Come on. Eat up, Sparks. We've got a long road ahead of us. Dadgummit. Alright. I was really focused, you could tell because my mouth started to hang open. And I have TMJ, so usually when I'm focused I clench too much, but sometimes when I'm really focused I do the opposite, which maybe that's good. Maybe that'll help me learn to relax my jaw. Ha ha ha. No, that will not happen, ever. Okay. We are officially... We're here. We're here. Alright. Alright, so we will replenish our sparks, and we're gonna go fight the guy. It's time to fight the guy, and I think that that gave us everything. Here. Yep. So Nasty Nork, and then we will instantly have Nasty's loot. So what's really cool about this is if you don't 100% the game, you have an ambition to go back and get everything to get to the loot. But if you do 100% the game, it's pretty cool because you instantly get access to this loot where I guess Nasty kept all of the stolen treasure. It's also been known to be called Nasty's Booty, and I can guess you can imagine why that was changed. But I think it's funny. I don't need to do that. Come here, you little heathen. Wow, really? Really? We're gonna play that game, are we? Turquoise poison looking guy thing. Yeah, you heard me. What an insult. I'm just so good at insults. Okay. Stuart Copeland really knew how to get you invested musically. Listen to that guitar bend. Yeah, we're just gonna have to accept our fate that we will have to redo this, so I'm going to focus on getting the treasure this round. And then try again. Oh gosh. That's really as scary as Nasty gets. Actually fighting him is like nothing. Really just being out there when he spits his scepter is a lot more scary. A lot scarier, I should say, than actually fighting the dude. Alright. Alright, it's time to take him on. Now getting the treasure first is more important to me, because there are probably some wizards out here who can get it without question. But I don't want to risk that today. Don't want to risk not getting all the treasure, so we're going to let him think he won. Ha 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 ha. Crazy close there. That's the best way, I think, to do it. That's how I've always done it. Alright. We're really trailing him. Really. Right on his booty. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta grab that. And then go. Because these gradually start to go in, and honestly this is the fattest I've ever seen them, so I'm doing pretty dang good. Especially these are usually way thinner by the time I get here. But he's pretty much useless. You are toast, Snork. And that should be everything, and now we get
Sorry I took so long.
the regular ending.
Kind of forgot about you.
What about Ganasty Ganork?
Nasty Nork is toast.
So now there's order again in the Dragon Kingdom?
Well, mostly. I've still got some treasure to pick up.
What will you do next?
I'd say the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. Now we get the beautiful credits, which I am going to let roll. I'm gonna let them roll. And, I'm hoping my cats don't make too much noise, but this is a good little snack break. A fruit snack. A gummy, if you will. There's nothing special about these gummies. They are genuine food. Before you get any bright ideas. But anyway. We do have Nasty's loot. Didn't really think that through because I don't like to talk with my mouth full. But I like that the original end credits in all 3 games are so much cooler than what they did in Reignited. Now, they tried in Reignited. They threw some art in there, which was cool. But there's nothing like this world viewer perspective. Which, speaking of the world viewer, I made a lot of videos using Climbing Company's Spyro World Viewer, which is an old tool. I think he released it in like 2013 or maybe even before that. It's been around a while, but that's how I take the camera through the levels like the credits do here, pretty much. And it also lets you switch skyboxes. You can also switch textures, but I don't really understand how to get that to work properly. But I suppose that's something you can do with Blender with the level models if you export them, which I do know that they do exist. The levels exist exported to where you can just put them directly into Blender and start editing them yourself if you want, which is cool. I just need to learn to use Blender, but it is very cool. But anyway, would love to see more texture hacks. They take a lot of effort, is why I don't think a lot of people were doing them. And it probably is easier to just start from scratch with your own level, since that's possible now. But yeah, now will it take us all the way back to Artisans? I think it does. No, it does not. Okay, then we free this Magnus this time.
Nasty's ancient history now. So, what's in there?
I believe this is Nasty's treasure hoard. But the gate will not open until you have found everything in the Dragon Kingdom. Come back when you have reached 100%.
And I think I have. As of right there. Yeah, there it goes. It opened. Nasty's loot. Otherwise known as Nasty's booty. Now this skybox always confuses me. It reminds me of the Enchanted Towers skybox, which I think it is different, but they are similar. Or is it? Is it the same skybox? I don't know. I think that the Enchanted Towers one is a little bit more blue than green. Now, I do think it's interesting that you kind of just discover that you have free flight in this level. Which is kind of neat. It's like you try to glide and you're like, oh wow, I can free fly, but you can't free fly any higher than where you've been. Which I think is a really funny, creative idea that they came up with. See, now we can technically fly up here because we've been higher. Pretty neat. There's that. Got these two here. And this goes by rather quickly, so I hope that you all have enjoyed your time with me. I appreciate you being here for this entire Longplay playthrough of my favorite series. In this case, not my favorite game in the series, but my favorite video game. Franchise. Even though they really donked it up and did a lot of silly stuff with it. Yeah. I now am high enough to get over here. Now I will say this song is incredibly distracting. For my ADHD, it is. That piano part was just really slamming it on a little heavy. And it's a good song. Just maybe not when you're talking. Didn't even mean to do that. That was epic. And that's something that I love that Mem has incorporated in his setups of the fan levels that he makes. Is the spin chests being able to be used as a weapon, like we talked about back in Lizard Peak earlier. In this part, it's so nice to be able to say that, to say in this part, not be like 5 episodes ago, do you remember? You better remember because you just watched it. Okay, so we got this. I don't think I can quite go that high yet. I might be able to hit this one. Let me try it. I don't think so. We're really slow. Oh my goodness. What's up with that? Brother, dude. Oh, does he not fly any lower? Okay. I thought I could get him now. I guess I can't. Okay. Well, I can get this one. Lots more cash there. Okay. I actually have to remember where to go next. I'm actually not sure. You can feel it like cutting me off. I don't think this gets triggered until after. Nope. Shoot, where do I go next? Where do we go from here? As the beautiful song by Filter says. It's a good song. It's a very good song. I'm really actually confused. I don't know. Oh, do I go here? Oh, I guess I do reach that. For some reason I could have sworn I couldn't reach that. But I don't have the key. Do you have the key? Surely not. No, because I don't get him on that route. I have to do an edit, guys, because I don't frickin' remember. Okay. I'll just wait and get him right here. My goodness. This is getting aggravating. I do not remember doing it this way at all, but this is what I have to do. Is he flying above me now? There we go. That was so weird. I don't remember you having to chase him at like a certain spot because of the height thing. I don't remember that at all. Now we have this one triggered, which will lead to the unlocking of the highest door, where we can then continue to find the full booty. The full loot, if you will. The higher you get, the more it slows Spyro down, so don't try to do that trick, because it won't work. I think we have to stay down here to earn our speed, yeah. We make it a little closer each time, I believe. I think. Something smells not good. I'm sure it has to do with my cats. But it just smells weird. Don't know what it is. This is just so monotonously annoying. How many times do I have to do this? I have to get it to where he, like, doesn't go up there? I don't remember. Oh, there we gained a little bit.
Interesting. My goodness, that was so silly, Noel. Brother, dude. Come on. Got him, finally. So does flapping your wings actually speed you up? Because I always thought it did, but I didn't know for sure, but that seemed to be what did it for me there. I was like spam flapping with the fly button. The flap button, if you will. Somebody doesn't smell good. Wait. I can reach higher than that, right? That was the whole point of me going up there, yeah. What the hell? Give me my height. You turd licker. Do you have to fly out of there for it to work? Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. My gosh. I'd never seen that happen before. I was about to be mad. Gonna get the last of the loot here. Then we move to the final room, and we're done. Just really epic. Very excited. You gotta be careful because the return home portal is there. But we don't want to do that yet. Don't want to do that yet. Alright. Should be everything in the entire game. I think. I don't think I've missed anything. Come on. Bring that full 2,000, baby. And we are done. Here's our final cutscene. One of those sickly sounding airplanes is flying over again.
Spyro the Dragon, you've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the
Look at
dragon eggs,
Sparks.
saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom.
Oh,
How
gosh.
do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob.
What just
And I'm
happened?
happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind.
What happened?
You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here
Dragon
we go
Direct
again.
TV must be experiencing a solar storm. What happened? It's just... Why? Didn't save any of that, which is weird because it's been saving to the memory card the whole time. But thank God we beat the game. And I will show you the final cutscene. Give me 1 second. Alright, credits to Jaded Darkness for uploading this
Spyro the
cutscene.
Dragon, you've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go again.
Alright, y'all, thank you all so much for watching. Right now we have Crystal Crafters on by Dude from Spyro Dragon 16, a beautiful fan track that was inspired by Magic Crafters at Night, something I made in the Spyro World Viewer tool by Climbing Company that I mentioned earlier. So thank you all so much for joining me for this long play. If this is something that you liked and you made it to the end, please do comment or let me know somehow so I know that people are engaged in this and it's something that you want to see more of. And it was just really nice and good for my mental health to be able to like play through the whole game with you all
in one setting, not even broken up into parts, and to just have this out there. Not Ripto's father's full playthrough of Spyro the Dragon, the very first game, the game that started it all for me and for many of you. And look at now what we get to see, you know, all the stuff fans are doing to help keep this original trilogy alive. Even people like me who aren't super savvy on tech or anything like that, but just being able to switch out a skybox and make the game feel new again. This is so exciting. I'm loving it so much. So if you're engaging with this content, if you're making content yourself, please let me know, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video, whatever that may be. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.